Excellent. So last we had played, you guys had been cleared of some suspicions, well, all suspicions by the brass shields within Rackmere. You were kind of caught up in the confusion of arrests and blame shifting for a captain of the brass shields being murdered in his own home, Raimundo, who you met many weeks ago. And under a zone of truth, all was revealed, and the Archzealot entrusted a symbol, a strange locket, a piece of an aeolian petal made out of platinum. She gave it to Thoric and said to show this to people who are important, and they will understand that you are to be trusted. And then Ashkeeper of the sanctum within Rackmere found out about his little sanctum underneath his temple and have wanted no part in the old ways of the Valen Church with their weaponry and battle monk kind of teachings, and he basically donated that to the Archzealot, and the Archzealot was like, well, I'm going to give it to all you guys. And so you have been upgraded with some new wares, new items, shadowy cloaks and leathers, and some new things, and a death mask as well, given to your cleric of the forge. And you headed back to the Bed of Roses after clearing all that up, still thinking about where to go from here, still thinking about tracing down the lead of Slate's missing wife and child, investigating the Six-Fingered Man, still procuring thoughts about Vainstone and all these things. The agent, which linked up with Orly while you guys are captured, she has said that she will assist you in the future if they run in the paths again. And now you guys have had a full night's of sleep after, just before you roused off to sleep, Torkel, he had a vision from a tuning to the mask of the saint, the now dead saint, of a battlefield of ruin and destruction and undeath in front of him. And now it has been a long rest. You guys have all rested. You all have your abilities back. It is early morning. The dawn bells have rung. It is a warmer day, probably sitting in around 12 degrees as you guys wake up. You can see as the kind of shutters are open in your rooms, it's a calm wind. There's a light bit of cloud and fog at the edge of town. You can see everyone mark off a silver piece for staying the night within the Bed of Roses once again. Do you have your titles accounted for? You have your belongings accounted for? And where are you guys choosing to go now?
Going south, right? We're going to Eastshade, then Breakwater.
Yes, I believe there was that.
I think
Sorry,
that's what we said.
can't recall off the top of my head right now, but there's that in effectively all of the
but
on the way.
Yeah, there's a halfway.
Yeah, Heatshade Guest House.
Yeah, Heatshade, and then we were going to Heatshade because there's a rumor that there are multiple false identity stones circulating there, right? That's something that Orly brought to us.
Orly got that information out of Sophia, which she had heard about it in her many, espionage efforts.
And then we're going south to Breakwater for a scheduled rendezvous plus investigation.
Hopefully, yes. Also, I don't recall, but did Sophia say she was heading there as well, or?
She told Orly that. Whether or not Orly chose to share information, I probably imagine he would have shared that by this point now.
Yeah, I vaguely remember him mentioning it, but anyway, doesn't matter. If that is the case, but
she said we're going to head there, gather some leads.
Yeah.
Yes.
During the burning of the note, I had a vision of that Vainstone, that black Vainstone. I think that we wanted to go there before we left, or did we already do that?
You haven't went back to Nathaniel's home since the basement all fell apart.
Yeah. Just to...
Yeah, see what we can find. Cause...
That shouldn't take us much longer than, an hour and a bit, right?
It'll be fine.
No, I mean, it's still early morning. It's still 8 a.m.
So we get there, look around, and get back.
Sure. You want to do that?
Still leave it relatively...
Yes.
We can do a
Just-
quick stop at the bottomless pit. Sure. Throw some things in.
Oh, let's see if we can find it. It's not like we explored it too much after that fact.
No, the floor all cracked.
No, we ran out because it was all falling apart. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's not like we've gone, oh, I wonder what we can find after that. We'll
Kendrick is
see.
going to throw a rock down the hole. I don't know what the
Yeah.
investigation's going to be.
Just shout, hello! See how it echoes.
As you head back towards Nathaniel's home, it looks as you had left it. The front door is still locked. The windows are how you remember it. This is a working day, so there are people like heading to work or some stalls nearby. Mostly, this is for mostly residential areas, so actually, yeah, this is nearly all housings, and most of them are starting to get empty. You see kids getting prepared to go ready for their day of lessons, and families heading out, and all this stuff as well. So, what do you guys do? Do you just open up the front door, Torkel?
I'll check the front door for traps.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Yes, sir. 14.
14. You are pretty confident that the front door is not trapped since the last time you left it.
Yep, then I'll open it.
Clink it open. You see the familiar bookshelves, small living accommodation of Nathaniel as how it was a few weeks ago, last time you were here. You remember how to trigger with the weighted bottle,
Yep.
the mechanism to go into the downstairs, and as you do so, the spiral staircase opens up and stone shifts. And yeah, the stairwell opens. As you head down the stairwell and get to kind of the last door before it opens up into what was the kind of a large 80-foot back massive workshop that was there, the door opens up and you see the remnants of some of the stone floor immediately in front of you, and not much more. This is all with your dark vision. I believe everyone's in the party has 60 feet of dark vision, so just bear that in mind. 60 feet of dark vision. You see the remnants of what was left on the floor, some occasional pillars of stone standing about 30, 40 feet away, but we're talking like a 5-foot area, not very big, and you'd worry if you stood on them, if you even managed how you would even get to them. And that's what you see. You do not see the floor. You only see the remains of it.
Is there like a small piece of stone or anything?
You could probably like span out to the last little bit slithers of the stone floor.
Yeah, just just a small just a piece of stone, something you can pick up effectively.
Sure, you want to try that? Yeah.
Yep. So I would like to do that. I would like to cast light on it.
Your light spell does not work.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
That means I can't see.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me try. DM a cast light.
Your light spell does not work.
Damn it.
And
Hold
So we're
on,
still
hold
in-
on,
we're still- we're
Hendrik. Let me
well,
try. I got this,
we're
guys.
still in range of the vein stone then. So, however deep it goes, it's still within range of its effect.
Could I do a... Sorry, is it possible to do a check to see if I would know the effective range of Veilstone?
Yeah, that's fine. I was about to ask
Yeah.
the exact same.
Make a history check, please. Or actually, sorry, either make an Arcana check or a religion check.
Can I also?
You can as well, yeah. Okay. You roughly come to the same answer. Anyone with over a 10 knows this. The small piece of veinstone that you're familiar with that was in this chamber is not the usual size slab that would be used in commercial building of defensive walls, structures, buildings. Those are more like 12 feet by 10 feet, like a massive hewn chunk of stone. And the range of that is about 300 feet. The actual buildings built out of veinstone, sometimes the anti-magic properties can extend well over a mile.
Mm,
Jesus.
okay.
Sometimes, but that could also be explained with a 21 Torkel. What people think is within a mile is actually your church, the Ministry of Masterworks, a conceited and deliberate effort to link up buildings of veinstone within the capital to make an anti-magic field. like a node system, so that a lot of the city is anti-magical. So with a 12 and a 14 and 15, you guys think, oh, Veinstone can be, turn it fit to them. But you, Torkel, know that actually that's deliberate manufacturing and building certifications, which makes that happen. So a large hewn piece. With you, Torkel, the size of slab, you probably would imagine the size of it probably maybe about 100 feet would be the range of stone that size.
Okay, 100 maybe. 100 feet. 100 feet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
So it's still here. It hasn't been relocated or removed or anything.
I have. That's not going to work. I have 10 candles. Can I light a candle?
You can light a candle, yeah. You get dim light within 10 feet.
Do we have
light within 10 feet? And I believe some of your party has rope, yeah?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Some rope.
Can we tie rope to the candle and lower it over the edge?
Sense
Sure.
to me.
If people have rope. How much length of rope do people have?
I have just one, I think 50 foot.
Okay, that's 50 feet of rope.
I vote that we make Thork carry all the ropes, so we always know how much rope we have on us.
I
don't
mean,
think I've
sure,
got any
I
rope.
have the carry capacity for it.
That's also a good reason. Okay, I swore I had 20 meters of rope.
I think you had rope. You forgot to add it back after.
I think I did
from
after
Sunless Citadel.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we can say you guys would recover all belongings. So yeah, we can say it's 100 feet of rope. Whether or not you guys want to buy some before you leave Rockmere, it's totally fine. So tying the piece of rope together, you tie the candlestick around it, you light it. Whoever's lowering it, would you give me either an athletics or acrobatics check to just see how delicately you can lower the rope line to see if it doesn't the head candlelight doesn't bang off anything and extinguish itself.
Do you want me to do
Okay.
it, Torkel, or will you do it?
You can do it. I assume that we would, as a party, decide who was best to try and slowly lower the rope down. So
Yeah,
I'm
athletics.
happy for you to do it if you like.
Yeah, athletics or acrobatics. 21. Quite carefully, Thoric lowers the heavy rope. It goes down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75 feet until it hits a piece of debris. You can see from the dim light a tangled mess of stone cobble, flooring, wooden beams, the structures of the rail system, the cranes, the pulleys, immediately at the bottom of a pit. It almost looks conical in how the floor has fallen in and of itself, rather than being a like for like of 80 feet across and about 60 feet wide. It's different. It's more like it's funneled into itself until it's kind of just hit bare earth and it's all just barreled in amongst itself. While the candlelight is there, it obviously covers most of this kind of dense amalgamation of what's left of the room. People are looking down. Everyone's in the party. Roll me a perception check, please.
What was that, sorry?
Perception check. Everyone within the party, roll me a perception check. As you look down into the hole 80 feet away. 75. 16. 12. 15. 8. Okay. As you stare down, you see tools smash the pieces. You see some of the remains of the golem, which you fought, the gargoyle creature, crumbled in this absolute smithereens.
Oh, God, that thing was evil.
But none of you see the actual dim grey slate and black dried veins of the shape of veinstone that was in this chamber. It must be submerged beneath this entangled mess of debris.
And if it's conical, it's not really like we can dig it out at all.
No, with you guys remember, so Thoric basically is sundered and tossed down the chunk of veinstone on the cart through the hole in the floor before the rest of the room fell in on itself. So it's probably buried under a lot of the material that was the floor and was the cranes and the pulleys.
But if it was a flat floor, we could at least slowly start to get some of the pieces away, like what we can. With conical, it's like impossible for us at this. A lot more
Yeah.
concerted work than we can do at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very least, it proves it's pretty much still there.
I can't see it. Nothing else on you. I mean, I got 7. I can't see shit. Okay. Okay, I think that probably short of going down there, like lowering ourselves down on the rope. What time is it just now, roughly? How long has passed?
Oh, only 30 minutes since she left the Better Rose's tap house. Did you hear that okay?
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking. Orko says to Doric, Doric, pull the rope up and detach it to my waist. I need to see and ensure that it is still down there. The painstone.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. I do as is asked of me.
Okay, so the rope is tied around your midriff, and then you start to be lowered off down the side of it. Thorak, make me an athletics check for lowering Torkel down.
Can
you want to give
I
advantage?
also?
Yeah.
Yes, that would be my
Advantage.
assist. Yeah. Oh, good
Cool.
thing.
18. You
Nice.
go down 50 feet, Torkel, holding candlelight, so kind of like washing out your dark vision a bit. Or unless you want to keep just dark vision.
Yeah, I'd probably just keep the dark vision. I don't necessarily think that I need the candle.
Yeah, okay. You go 50 feet, 60 into 75 before your feet slowly start to approach to the debris. And as Thorax slowly lowers you down, you find your feet now standing on the remains of this room, funneled it into a point of about 20 feet by about 15 feet. What do you do?
As best I can, I would like to start making my way laterally across it to see if I can try and unearth the Banestone.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, please.
Sure thing. Investigation.
19.
Hmm.
As you're now looking in and you're carefully, because what you're realizing walking on this stuff, not everything is compacted and filled every single void of space underneath. And as you move and shift debris, stuff starts to and crack and move. So you're taking deliberate steps and being methodical. It's process is nerve wracking for our allies because where Thorax steps and he leaves it, he goes maybe about 5 feet ahead. You see where his footsteps once were. A shifting brick and stone and fills the hole where he once was, and it moves. You dig and carefully remove what you can under fear of upsetting the way it's laying. And after about a period of 10 minutes of almost hands and knees, while Thoric and Loranic hold the strain of the rope, you're just about ready to give up when your hand touches something colder than the rest. And as you brush it away, you see the kind of dark, dried, withered vein exterior to the chunk of veinstone.
Okay. There, I shouts back. Well, did they steal here? Yeah, it's quite large, isn't it? Not in terms of like being able to lift or move it, you'd have to have a pulley
Yeah,
system.
it's like it's about. I think I described it as being about like 4 foot by about 5 foot in diameter. It's a dense material veinstone. It's very heavy.
Is there anything in the piles of debris around me that looks like unusual or uniquely identifiable that I could use to then place on top of the vein stone to make it Yeah, just sort of as a marker.
Yeah, you could find something within the debris that you could leave on top, like a metal hook, part of the pulley system.
Yeah.
Onto and yeah, you could leave a mark.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just try and place something on it or near it so that I can be like, I mean, it'll still be hard, but so that I can be like, that's where we last saw it.
Saw it. Sure.
And I'll try and make my way carefully back over to the
while you're
rope.
doing that, while you're trying to shift
Sure.
this material around, can you make a sleight of hand check for me, please? Just
Yes,
to
I can.
delicately.
Eep.
Yeah. Okay. You watch as you start to pull debris apart, and like, all right, and you get this metal bar, and like, all right, it'll give, and you pull it, and you pull it, and it comes free, and your knee starts to sink into the mass, and then another brick from the top of the pile next to you, and someone rolls down, and hits you in the back. Thoric, Loranic, you feel the rope tug as Torko is pulled about 4 or 5 feet ahead, unjarred, and Torko, your feet are now restrained under a massive debris. What do you do?
I mean, immediately feeling the tug,
Yeah,
Thor will call down, will we pull?
Yeah, I think you should, and I'll try and grab onto the rope to like
Yeah. Okay. Grab onto the rope. All right.
steady myself.
The two of you can either make 2 independent sleight of hand checks, or Thoric can make one with advantage.
Want to make one of the
Not sleight of hand. Sorry, athletics.
Will I make one of the advantage, Toxie?
Yeah, you can make one with advantage. It'll be better, I think.
Okay. 19. The mess of debris coming down and funneling around from your ankles, now at the top of your knees in your heavy armor, is starting to get purchased. Stuff starting to click in your metal plates of your boots. And as you're like, oh no, and you feel your feet sinking further, you start to slowly rise up. Torkel, as you're starting to be pulled, you feel that your left greave is caught on something. And when your companions above give that final pull, you hear something like click off, and the clasp of your left gauntlet like unfurls and comes off. Make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can catch it.
Right.
Natural 20.
Nice.
So what happens is the clasp gets caught in a piece of sharp metal iron. The leather straps are cut, and as the entire left greave of your armor, of your leg, shin plates start to let go, you quickly like turn, go sideways vertically as you're being lifted, and just grab the top of it as your entire foot, basically armored boot, was about to slide off, and you catch it. And with that, Loranic and Thoric start to slowly pull you up 60 feet, 50 feet, 40, until your companions restore you. You see Torkel looking a little bit sweaty, and he's taking his shoe off for some reason.
Was the shoe in the way? Are you okay?
That's thing tried to relieve me of my armor, but it's a fit. So I kept a hold of it. I think that we're probably finished here. We can continue on our way.
Okay. So, are you guys making for the Heidels and heading south?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay. You go and collect your beasts. There's a stables nearby. Mark off 4 silver for the lodgings and the feed for the past couple of days since you've had them. Every person.
4 silver.
4 silver for everyone who owns a Heidel. I think some people are sharing one, possibly.
These are just all.
I was assuming that I was sharing with someone, given my stature.
I think you're sharing with.
I think you shared with me.
You can't
Oh,
share with
Hen-
me because I
Yeah, no, Thoric is
alone
massive.
reach near the maximum capacity of the draft idol.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
So we
Cedric
just-
rides side saddle, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So just 2 silver each for then Hendrik and Torkel. Okay. As you leave the stable close to the southern exit.
Sorry, just before we do leave, there is something
Mhm.
I'd like to pick up before.
Okay.
I'd just like to buy 2 healers kits, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. Mark them in your inventory then.
Will
You spend the gold value to do so.
Could I have gone with Laranok and just see if I could flog the leather armor I had? I
Yeah.
got new armor, so
You did. Get 7 GP back for flogging it,
thank you.
I think. Was it studded leather armor or was it just leather armor?
Oh, I think it
what
was
the
just leather
equivalent is.
armor.
Okay,
It's-
yeah, go for it. Yeah, 7 GP. Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. Okay. So a wall exit that you guys have headed out multiple times in your conquest, up and down the road, going to Summer Citadel, going back, etc., etc. The brass shields let you through. You have your items, and you travel on. You see the shrublands before you, the cypress trees, the olive branches, the distant sloping mountains that are somewhat still wet. The greenery of spring is starting to slowly appear at the edge of some leaves and buds down here in the hot weather. You travel for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4. And in this traveling time, on your hydals now, as you get accustomed to the pace of these beasts actually going overland, they make short work of the twisting stone trail that is the road south, the sun-scorched road. The arid expanse, as you cross the bridge south of Rackmere, starts to open up. You instead see less and less shrubland, less and less tree cover, as thicker rock fields of dark browns and muddy yellows and scorched, sun-blackened, dark patches of earth start to appear. You occasionally see some caravans going up or down, some passing you by at a slower pace, some going faster than you. It's a busy road at this time of year. It's a busy road all year. And another couple hours go past. The sun starts to hit its zenith in the late afternoon. You travel onward. The fog in the distance is all burnt away by now. The cloud is fading as darkness starts to rest in, and you start to come into more of a twisted route of track, of road that is less opened up, which is less barren desert outside, which is more rocky, more canyony. And then the kind of first dawnings of the moonlight in the distance, as sunlight starts to set, starts to creep in. You see the faint whispers of starry night sky start to appear. Imberia, the moon, starts to claw its way across the sky. And as you're just breaking out of this canyon, you've been traveling now for close to 8 hours. Before you can have a thought to plan whether or not to continue on the short couple miles to Heatshade in the distance, which you gather from the conversations you've had of direction passing by other caravans. As you exit this kind of canyon structure and open up back into more of a flat top desert expanse, still rocky, still craggy, you can start to see about 300 feet off into the desert a mix of torchlight into a slope, an embankment down the left hand side of the road. And you can hear shouts of annoyance, of arrogance, but no language that you recognize comes from it. More just grunts. What do you do?
Well, you have to see what's going on. Closer.
Okay. Is that everybody's agreement?
Sorry, when you said it was like to the left of the road, is it like pretty much directly to the left of the road, or did you
More
say
like
300 feet
45
away
more
from
like
it?
45-degree angle as you're looking like what would be south. The road is south, so imagine your character token facing south to be looking like southeast of the road, like as it goes down an embankment into like a kind of bouldery field of and as you kind of look down there, you see that kind of wet, what would have been a tributary of freshly filled water that is now diluted again from the rain subsiding.
Right. And it's hearing a language we do not understand.
Is it language or is it like noises?
Make a perception check, Orly and Torkel, for trying to hear out. They're about
Another 22?
380 feet away. This kind of massive torchlight. Orly, you're just a wee bit distracted. Torkel, peering through the distance and staring at the torchlight, you can see figures at the torchlight. Not just humanoid figures. You see shapes of creatures. You see figures riding heidels, much like yourselves, but they're pack-laden heidels. You can see that there are people on them, and then surrounding them are humanoidish shapes. A couple of them on top of creatures, large, dark-furred masses surrounding the heidels, doing this kind of like perimeter around them. And with a 22, like looking and peering, you just hear this kind of shout, and then you hear a pleading kind of series of screams. What do you do?
Ooh.
Yeah, we got to save those people, right?
I'm going to ask
Yeah.
if Leonok hears this. If Leonok is hearing screams, he's kind of already going to start moving that way. Screams
Okay.
Yeah.
usually conducive to healthy behavior. So
Okay.
Yeah.
With the heidels charging, going fast, these creatures which you haven't taken off-road yet, as you start to head through this boulder field, you start to see like patches of little quicksand and rock and debris, which you clearly would not have seen, but the heidels with their two heads peering down the earth with their sharp claws run and jump and leap over piles of quicksand and rocks and boulders in the dry run remains of this flooding area. Well, how close do you get before you dismount your beasts?
I'll probably dismount maybe 20 or 30 feet before the
Start to
rest of
see the
you
shift.
guys. Yeah,
Okay.
well, before the rest of the guys start to dismount, and I'm going to try and kind of like
Sneak away. All right.
sneak away and at a different vantage point.
All right. Okay. What we'll do now, I'll say you. If anyone wants to bring their heidel into this possible incursion, tell me now. Or
no.
if people want to dismount.
No,
Okay.
just be on
no
my
problem.
feet.
Leonok's going to dismount. He's
I
Alright.
would
I
like to
just found
stay,
within charging distance, so like 25 feet.
I'd like to stay 150 feet away.
All right. Okay.
all the
So-
casters staying as far away as possible.
You're damn right.
Okay. So let me just do a quick measuring tool here. Okay, no problem. That's quick math. All right, so I'm going to drag you guys to a map, and you're entering kind of southeast corner of the map to this mess. Where is all? Okay, how do I drag you? Oh, there we go. Select all, and there we go. That should have worked. There we go.
There
That
we go.
worked.
I'll just roll stealth now, will I?
Yes, please. 28. So Orly slinks off your left-hand side of Orly. The torchlight that being cast, you can start to see more humanoid shapes across. These figures from the torchlight getting closer now, you can see that they are wearing fur and bone basic clothing apparel. Things that you make on their own, things that are repaired over countless journeys over land. Their skin is a dark grey dust. Most of them, almost like they've caked themselves in the desert itself. You see strange markings on their flesh, which are not skin. Tattoos, strange tattoos on their back of their hands, their wrists, their forearms, their necks, their foreheads. And Orly made a stealth check. So while the rest of you run up in your full plate mail, you see this figure here with a spear in its hand, kind of make a grunt, a noise as they turn. And then a large figure riding a giant boar comes around the corner. This person, this man is taller than Thoric by a foot or so.
Oh,
You see a
shit.
huge half giant of blue skin riding a giant boar. His armor is this collected mass of metallics. He has a great spear held in his left hand while his right hand holds the reins. It has his spear, the point of it is the tooth of a bullet, and he has a shield strapped on his right hand shin.
The tooth of a bullet?
The leg
There.
of that creature.
Yeah, the massive. No, I know.
The
Yeah.
diggy creature.
Yeah.
Diggy.
He stares you guys down and grunts. And you can start to hear kind of the planing of "Leave us alone! Get away!" from a group of people further
Is that-
past the boulder field.
Is that being shouted at us or at these people?
This is being shouted clearly at the people harassing it. You can start
Okay.
to see kind of past, I think, you can start to see Lernok past the kind of giant riding the huge boar, two caravanners or a caravan hydro with two people on it.
Cool.
So what you can see on the
will-
map is what you can see, your character can physically see. And there's just this pause of just you interrupting something going on here.
Lennox is going to just approach a little bit, very slowly. He's like going to make it. He's not with sort of hands up a little bit.
Yeah.
What is going on here? These people do not seem to appreciate your presence.
The giant stares you down. The faint torchlight behind him of the human warrior behind him. You see that it's given this kind of crazy shadow cast behind him. It's just more of just this dark shape of a man and a beast. The giant, half giant, turns over his shoulder and mouths something in this low guttural voice. Dalak. And the human grunts, and then he kind of jumps off the rock that he's on.
I'm going to slowly make my way to the left of the group and kind of just tell me when to stop, as in that last minute. I'll go to about here if I can.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. You see it first, Orly. You start to see another boar, boar ridden by another individual, start to head here this way to head towards your allies. And then
is it coming?
Oh,
Okay.
It's not coming towards you. It doesn't seem to have seen you. But
Okay.
it's coming up to ride alongside. Coming up alongside to be beside the individual on the boar. You see a woman. You see a woman riding this boar. Again, this clothing is animal pelts and furs and strange gems, rough cut gems, have been tied into her long braided hair. These aren't... No, it can't be. You see that her entire braid of hair, which is fastened, it's been tied with a series of identity stones as trophies.
That's beautiful. Have I ever seen that before?
No, you have not seen this before.
We have stumbled into something we did not want to be in.
You see her with her humanoid dark olive features. She seems to look at the group of you, and she starts to speak to the giant on it, and they converse in a language none of you understand. She takes out this gnarly looking bladed instrument, which looks like a piece of bone which is fastened in a sharp instrument, and points it towards you, Lernok. During incursion, dwellers of cities, this is our claim.
Okay. We do not mean to interrupt or intrude, but we cannot help but notice what is going on here. Something that we cannot allow. What is it that you require from these people?
Looks over her shoulder. The giant at this point kind of just like relaxes the stirrups and the reins of it and starts to stretch, his huge muscles bulging. Make a perception check, Lernok and Thoric, please.
Okay.
It looks more like he's just resting, like he's limbering up. Thoric, you recognize this.
Yeah.
8. 13.
I'll roll above a 10 at some point.
On his basically his exposed chest, he has a huge dark black tattoo of a single open eye across both of his basically pecs, down into his belly. It's cast by the light.
Let me use this time to get behind this rock up here.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Can I use that as like vision cover?
Sir, I appear to be 100 feet close. I appear to be 100 feet closer than I wanted.
Ryan,
to be.
we're saying you're further back. We're just having you map here so you can see what's going on.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, so she says, "Cannot allow entitlement of city dwellers. This we make happen." They gestures toward over shoulder at like the caravan of Heidels. They step forth off the road, come into lands where we hunt and pursue. They're ours by the mistake they make.
What is it you wish from them? Their belongings? I'm sure we can come to some kind of agreement that does not need to end in bloodshed and harm. That is all we wish to avoid.
We ask, tell, we desire their lizards. They refuse. Hold themselves up in sand which protects them briefly. Conversation was happening, pleading, an offer. They refuse. So now we must take by force.
You wish
Unless
for the
you say something, change our minds.
You wish for the lizards. What is it you wish? How about we have a nice conversation over some food? I can cook fairly well. It would be my pleasure to prepare a meal for you all.
She sneers at that and says something to the giant, and he just gives this low and just shakes his head, looks at you. No, our giant blood says no to food, to offerings. And then the giant says something to her, points towards the group of you, the three of you. And she nods, takes something in, looks towards you, Lernok. He says, if you are so purpose to defend these people, then pick a champion that he will face. You best, we leave. You lose. We take you with us back to the mountains.
Leonard's going to look at the others. If your champion, if our champion defeats yours, you will agree to leave with no further harm, and with everyone left still alive. Yes.
She hops down off the boar, leans up against the rock, looks towards the giant, says something to him. He gives a long look, looks over his shoulder at the Heidels, looks over the shoulder, looks back to the group of you. She nods and kind of gives this kind of look of like, okay, I'm going to do what you say, and looks towards you, Lernok. You, whoever champion is, only fight him. No one else involved. We keep the lizards and people on them where they are. You try nothing. Do nothing. Only fight 1-to-1.
Enoch is going to. I'm going to be honest. I think the most likely person here is going to be Thoric.
Me? I can't fight.
Thoric, do you think you would be able to best him? Would be great benefit. If you are able to beat him, we will perhaps be able to avoid further bloodshed. If the full fight was to break out, then the people there might be killed in the crossfire.
Very well.
Cool. I believe our friend Thoric here will take you up on that.
What are the rules around magically buffing someone before they go into the fight?
They didn't specify.
What can I do?
What are you going to do, Torkel?
I can catch them with curse. I don't know about this. Let's have a play.
bless. Okay.
I will say. I'll say out loud to the woman who's been talking. I'll say, if I am permitted, I would like to pray to our God before we enter into these fights.
She's about to get up on the boar, and she turns and looks over her shoulder, and then like as she's getting up on the board, dive and look at you. Pray to your pathetic gods, then.
Mistake. I cast Bless. I cast Bless.
All right.
I cast Bless at second. How many? Sorry, I'm so confused. We are over here.
You're on maps.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You can't get Hendrik because he's way further back.
I guess it's second level then, and that allows me to. Can I see Orly or is Orly hidden?
You cannot see Orly, he's stealthed.
I cast
might
Bless
want
at
to
first level, and I just bless me, Leonok, and Thoric.
I would like to join in on that, and I will cast Aid on the three of us.
Okay.
What does
so
Aid
that's
do
up to
again?
1 minute.
Add 5 hit points.
Once I see this conversation and then huddle, I'm gonna ride up if that's okay, Dion.
Where to?
To the huddle, to the group.
Okay.
And it's like, what's going on?
Oh,
Okay. Under your appearance, some of them drop they kind of get ready again and shuffle, and then seeing that you're not a threat and you're there to talk, the woman says, "How many men are you? Are you plotting something?"
I'm not very good at plotting.
Just
That is all. But
I don't know. Look,
Friend is just scared. He wanted to hide away, but now he sees that we are having individual combat. He is happy to approach. Please do not pay him any mind. We certainly don't. Is your weapon magical, Thoric?
I do have a magical weapon.
It's a buffed weapon. It's a
It's a
silver
buffed weapon.
Templar weapon, but it does not count as
Okay, it's
magical.
not magical.
Would you still get the +1 bonus to attack rolls if I cast magic weapon on?
He would, yeah.
Hold on.
If you cast magic weapon, it'll give him.
I cannot cast magic weapon on it because Bless is also concentration.
yep.
Yeah, you got to choose one.
So yeah. I'm assuming you've got to have the Bless for the rolls.
I have magic weapon.
Oh, cast magic.
We're just buffing the shit out. Broken going nuts.
Okay.
It's like a fucking half giant who's literally a foot tall. This is like an hour.
This is a fucking kaiju battle, is what this is.
This is so cool.
Okay.
Whoa! Let them fight.
So I'm gonna
So the
If he dies, he dies.
the giant steps off the boar and gives it a meaningful pat on the head. He takes his shield that was attached on his ankle and raises it up like a It would be a buckler shield on him. To any of you, this is like a full body shield. He stands beside his boar, and then the lady, as things are starting to get ready, he says, "You try anything." Looks over her shoulder, gestures hand outspread towards the caravan. "We'll kill them all."
That is exactly what we are trying to avoid. We will not risk it.
Okay.
Yep.
She stands. She goes away. Lap south. She goes to about there. A human warrior comes over and fetches the boar's reins. He takes it to about here. Some more individuals start to move down to watch the spectacle, but still surround the trade caravan. He walks back up to about here, and he throws his spear into the ground forcefully. You watch him pick up the sand in his left hand, his free hand, and smear it over his chest, over his tattoo, while raking his sharp pointed claws, which draws blood as the sand and the soil mixes over his eye tattoo.
Sorry, one more spell actually before the fight starts. I will also cast a level 1 heroism on Thoric.
Okay, so
because I think he's being a goddamn hero.
Okay.
Hey, I'm just giving you constant temporary hit points.
The giant's chest with a blood-soaked smear. You almost see that the eye seems to just blink. He picks up the bullet head spear and then just stares at you, Thoric, just locked eyes. This massive half giant awaiting your approach.
All right, go nuts, please. If you can
So
avoid
I
it.
have to keep certain things. So I have bless, which is at a d4.
D4.
I have aid,
plus
so
5
plus
hit points.
5 HP. So I'm going from 50 to 55.
Correct.
Magic weapon. I don't think. So Shatter Spike gets +1 to attack and +1 to damage. So I'm gonna just change the plus from a 1 to a 2, and the damage from a 0 to a 1. I'm saying this out loud mainly just for the records. Heroism. Being frightened against at the start of each of its turns. Okay, so I wouldn't get it yet. So what's your spellcasting ability modifier, Toxie?
4.
4.
4 temp hit points every turn.
Cool.
Okay. The huge giant is just standing there waiting.
So, the center, I'm guessing.
Once you get to about here,
but
you need to roll initiative.
Roll initiative, okay.
So you stand up, you walk up, and as you get to that point between those two stones, he just cracks his neck on his left-hand side, and then cracks his neck on his right-hand side. And let's roll initiative. You rolled a 5.
Go on, you can do it. I believe. God damn it!
2. Oh no! Where's the turn order? Okay. The giant, seeing you stand there, he smashes his shield against his sword. His spear, and he just runs at you, just full. Sand just kicks up behind him as he just moves 20 feet towards you. He's going to make 3 attacks against you.
Oh no.
So one-handed spear jab basically right towards your throat for a 17. Does that hit? Okay, so you bring up your shield, cling, it clangs off. Another one-handed spear attack. 23.
That hits.
So as the spear gets darted away, he moves quickly to your side and just sees a weakness in your armor, kind of drifting to the side, and upward spears you just in a piece of exposed flesh in your armpit and digs in a few inches before you manage to pull away. Last attack with a spear. 17 again, so that's a miss. Okay, the last attack, as you pull it away, you actually hold on to the bullet-headed spear, like trying to restrain him for a second. He brings the shield across, which is like spike covered, and basically tries to go for your eyes and your helmet, and you have to reel back, let go of the spear as you drift back a good 5 or 6 feet from the reach of this huge form. He doesn't make any noises. There's just grunts of just battle. Thoric, it's now your turn.
Okay, my turn.
Why is the cart?
Go nuts. Go big. Go Nova.
And you can't gain more than 1 source of temporary hit points, am I right?
Correct.
So whatever's the largest will take precedence.
Cool. I'm just double checking through my things here.
Yeah.
Very good. Extra attack. First swing with Shatter Spike.
22 hits. All right, okay. So what does it look like when you first manage to land the blow on him?
It's like when he tries to get me with that spiked shield. What happens is I deflect it with my own to the point where his side is exposed a bit, and then I swing into that exposed side.
Sick.
With it.
Oh. So as you swing Shatter Spike, the Warhammer blade, into the side of him, this is a weapon you've sent goblins flying with. You have killed smaller creatures in one fell swoop. This blow that strikes his side, it meets a little bit of dense fur, and it hits it, and there's just barely any resistance. He slides about an inch to the right, looks down at the strike to him, and he just grunts. He does take 13 points of bludgeoning damage though, because he does have an AC over 16 from armor.
Cool. Second
Okay.
swing.
Yeah, go for it. Natural one.
What
Ooh.
I am going to do is use my piety 3+ ability
Mm-hmm.
to make that a 10, so it's a 20.
It's a 20. With the 20, he's going to use his reaction to parry. So the attack misses.
Damn.
Yeah. Just for that attack, though, it doesn't increase his AC like a shield attack does the entire time. So it's just that attack. Okay.
And because
So,
I took the attack action, I'm going to use my bonus action to try and shove him.
Okay.
Okay, so what? The ability just says bonus action to try shove. Well, what do I actually have to roll?
If you take attack action in your turn, you can use a bonus action to shove. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's a counteracted athletics check, isn't it?
Yeah, it's opposed athletics checks.
Okay. Roll me an athletics check then, please, to see if you shove. 21. Okay. It's a 25.
Damn.
So what happens is the blow goes into his side. You retrieve his weapon back before he grabs a hold of it, or to go to strike the spear into you. There's a bit of back and forth of like him dodging, weaving right and left. You do the same. You land a blow on his like upper torso, just past the buckler shield or the shield arm. That he kind of grunts in pain. And with that, with the blow hit, you press advantage, trying to lean into him. You push the shield, the full height of the shield, in against him. And he does not move an inch. He doesn't even skate across the sand in the darkness. And as you just like push all your body weight and all your strength into kind of shoving him over, you see him reach over the shield with his shield hand and just full punch you in the forehead in your shield, and you feel the metal like ding a little bit as your bell gets knocked, and you have to pull back before he brings the spear into like basically an up thrust into your neck gauntlet. All right, top of initiative, his turn again. He is going to shield bash you. He's going to swing his shield into you for a 19. Does that hit?
Meet and beat, yep.
Okay. I need you to make a DC 15 strength saving throw, please.
2, 4. Strength. 15.
Okay, you just succeed. So he does an underhanded swing against your lower leg armor and tries to basically smack you straight on your back. You do take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, but you do not remain you're not prone. All right, he's going to make 2 more one-handed spear attacks against you for a 17, which misses, which stabs for AC, and a 23 for 13 points of piercing damage.
That hits.
So Field tries to like knock you on your side. He brings a spear back as you're defending yourself, and it just pierces it like right in your upper gauntlet armor, and red trickle starts to run out of the wound.
Remember, you'll be gaining temporary hit points for all of this as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Although I am
with that,
and not going to lie, Toxic, I am tempted to activate my own temporary hit point thing because it gives.
Hey, do it if you need to.
It does 5.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But you should have basically taken 8 reduced damage overall, I think.
Okay, so take 8 hit points back, I think, because that's
because you should have gained 8 temporary hit points by now.
Does it stack? Wait.
No, but basically, yeah. So then you took the first hit in the first round.
Okay, so
it takes 4.
I just add 4 back to my HP.
Yeah. But yeah, do what you need to do, man.
Yes, Ryan?
DM, while this is going on, can I measure up the other? Sorry, are they ogres or giants?
None of them are ogres or giants.
Okay, so they're just
he's half.
He's a half giant.
So your description, you made them half giant. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. If you look at the tokens, all of them are named of what race they are.
Except for the fucking guy himself. So
you should be able to see.
I thought he was an ogre or a
there
giant.
We go.
There it is. Okay,
half giant tribe champion.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. among the rest of their number, is there anyone who looks like a magical caster? I know it's hard to define, but someone who doesn't
Make a
have
perception check.
a bunch of muscles, I guess.
Yeah.
Excuse
Perception.
me. You can be muscled and be a caster.
Yeah, no.
20. All the individuals will just look at your token of where you are and on the map. All the people which you can see all look to basically be like fighters with weapons, with spears and hand axes and bone weapons.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
No problem. All right, Thoric, it is now your turn.
My turn. I get 4 temp. I just have a read.
Yeah, you regain 4 hit temp hit points.
As a bonus action. I think I'm going to have to pop Weather the Storm for this one, I think, if that's okay, Toxie. I appreciate the aid, but I think I might need the 5 instead of the 4.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, do what you need to. I was hoping it would sort of save some resources, but go nuts.
Cool. So the bonus action for the next minute at the end of each of your turns. Cool. So I don't get it yet, but I think I get it at the end of my turn here.
Yeah.
Cool. So first swing.
Yeah.
22.
22. He cannot reaction that on a parry. So yeah, you deal 9 points of bludgeoning damage against him.
Second swing.
17. 17 just hits.
What are you
So
going
that's,
to parry?
10. He's
Oh, he is
not going to
not.
parry. He's going to do something else.
Okay.
So that's 10 plus 9, 19 points of damage to him. Okay.
And
Okay.
is he using a reaction, or can I get my bonus?
He's about to use a reaction.
Okay.
So what happens is you hit him twice. You hit his shield. Basically, you're smacking against his shield twice. It's one. It's like taking stamina to absorb the blows. And as you look up, you see from his dull blue skin just crackling lightning in his eyes as he just stares at you, and with his spear hand, with the back palm of the spear, just hits you right in the chest, and you're going to take 2 points of thunder damage as he uses a reaction to smack you with the power of his genes, of his blood, and conjure thunder damage as a reaction.
Are they blue jeans?
Blue genes, yeah, they're blue genes. Okay, so that's his reaction used.
Cool.
Right.
I get 5 temp HP now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my turn. It's done.
All right. Okay. His turn. His eyes still glowing. He looks at you, stares at your armor. He kind of retracts a little bit. There's that 5 feet of distance from the two of you. He's not getting out of your range. He stares down at his chest and brings both his arms in like his defensive posture. And you see him just start to grow. His body just expands. Instead of going from 9 feet tall, 10, then 11, 12 to 13 feet tall as he just supersizes in height, looming over you. Dora, Dina, says the words to you. You hear all the other tribals just start to woo and just yip and cheer and clap. That's his action.
Doesn't
It's
do
your
anything
turn,
else?
Thoric. No, that's his action.
Okay, my turn. To begin, I'm going to bonus action second wind.
Mm-hmm. The crazy thing about him growing in size is his spear is still big enough with the bullet teeth on the end that it does not look preposterous for the new height and new build that he is.
5, 8.
Ooh.
Cool. First swing.
22 hits.
You have been consistently hitting 22s. That
He has. So that's 14 points of damage.
Second swing.
28 definitely hits from mine. Okay. All right. Okay.
And
All right. Yeah. You want to do anything else?
I'm going to action surge.
Oh yeah.
And that means I can do another 2 swings, right?
Correct, yeah.
19.
29, wow. For another
And
14.
Just had to build up momentum, clearly.
Another one.
And another 29 for another
God,
16.
yeah, we did have Jesus.
Holy
Oh
shit.
my god.
All right, so we figured out that Thor is just that the machine where as soon as he gets going, he doesn't stop. It's like that one miss was because my back wasn't in
Sure,
it.
you're not a
Correct.
barbarian.
Correct. All of these hit and deal substantial damage to him. Describe to me what this flurry of blows looks like.
It's less that it's like a speedy flurry of blows. It's more like
Mhm.
he just brings it down with such force that
Yeah.
the momentum and inertia just carry through into the half giant. That like, yeah, you're bigger, but I'm stronger kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay, sick. So you swing a blow into his new supersized thigh. He lowers it like grunts. You do an uppercut swing against his jaw, which just you hear a crack as you dislodge his jaw, and it's like knocked out of place for a second. He then brings his eyes. He is going to use a reaction for the second hit to deal some thunder damage, another 2 thunder damage. Wow, he's rolling so good on those. The third, you focus your adrenaline. I can do more. You then as the momentum is swinging up, you then kind of bring it over your right hand shoulder, then swing it back around and swing into the other knee. He drops to both knees, and then finally, with the momentum swinging through again, you bring it on top of his head. He manages to bring the shield up in time. Even with the shield now coming in to absorb the blow, it still smacks and it brings his shield arm into his face and crack. You see blood squirt out of his nose as you break his nose from momentum of the shield defending his face. His turn. Pissed off, he's going to shield bash you first attack for 14, which misses. He's going to make 2 more spear attacks against you. Yeah.
Sorry, just can I ask a question? That reaction he did my turn end after that?
Yes. So you would get your HP back.
I would get my 5 temp HP. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so does a 19 hit?
Yes, for 10.
Okay, you get 10 points of piercing damage and 1 more one-handed attack for an 11, which misses. All right, okay. So he's looking pretty hurt now. He's definitely got the bloodied condition now. He's looking hurt. Okay. All right, your turn.
Cool. I'm going to swing 17 for 10.
17 reaction miss.
That's fair.
Bless.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting bless.
I'm going to be honest, it's never really come up.
19.
So that would still make his AC 21, so it still misses.
Cool. Second swing for a crit.
Oh my god.
Although shit damage roll.
So that is 10 plus 2, so 14 again.
Does the 2 add to each one?
The 2, sorry, no, it doesn't. Sorry, you're right. So it would be, 12 points of damage.
And I get my 5 temp HP back.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that. That's my turn.
I love the idea that the rest of us are basically just watching this like it's Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Make an insight check, Lernok, Torkel, and Hendrik. And you as well, Orly, since you're stealth. All of you make an insight check.
They're going to jump me. They're going to jump the fuck out of me.
Yeah, if they start losing, you're going to jump us.
They fucking better not.
Assholes.
Hendrik, you see in the reaction, and Torkel as well, the two of you lock eyes and look at them. This is less of a, we're going to jump, and this is, he's going to lose. Oh, fuck, he's going to lose. And it's like oh no, what do we do if he loses? And they start to get ready and start to all look amongst each other and get ready. It's his turn.
From the natural 20, when you say they get ready, as in they get ready to attack the innocents, or they get ready to collect their beaten champion, and can I tell if it's
the former? It looks more like they're getting ready to attack you rather than. It seems like the entire this fight seems to be drawing the attention of the entire other tribals around, and they're all staring and watching in absolute just shock that their champion's starting to get beaten down. You probably gather after this round they're going to make a decision.
Yeah, I'm going to start
I don't
moving
notice this,
around
do I?
the corner here.
You'd be looking around the rock, Orly. Or sorry, with a 7.
I only got
No,
17. So.
I'm 7.
17. Orly, you do spot the woman who spoke with the identity stone, the gems. She's got this like horrible just sneer on her face. She's like, and she's just like muttering something like, "Oda, Oda, Oda," like just like, and you imagine she's probably saying, "No, no, no."
Oh, okay.
No.
Can I position my can I get a brief description of like the rocks around me?
There's a boulder field which has rolled off the rocks. That large rock in front of you that's not the boulder field is about maybe 15 feet tall.
Okay,
And there's
and
a boulder
this
field
whole
just rolled off the
area
side
is
of it.
like surrounded by lit
Torchlight.
torchlight, yeah.
Yeah, so this person here, the one that's immediately like above you, has torchlight like right here. So if you pop out with him there, it's probably just going to immediately reveal you.
Okay, cool. So
But
there's no kind
you'd
of like
still get a sneak attack if you pop out and quickly do a sneak attack. You'd still be hidden for that first.
yeah,
little
okay. No,
thing.
just my thought process was, can I try and get a better vantage point if I climb up using shadows? But assumedly, there's no kind of like shadow cover once I kind of.
I would say if you go this way, that way there, you could get up on top. But again, once you're on top, you're on top, and then they'll probably be able to see you.
Understood. Never mind then. All good.
All right, so just bear that in mind. Torko, Hendrik, if there's something you want to do before this round ends, let me know. But the gladiators will fight once more.
I get the feeling that I'm going to start slowly moving and keep paying attention to people's reactions. I want to get to that square there.
Okay, you can do that.
I will stop
the fight.
Okay,
they seem to be drawn on the fight if you have 25 feet left. They're staring at this. So that's your movement. Any action you want to take?
I don't want to take any action just now. I just want to confirm that I have a line of sight to these people.
You have a line of sight.
I can't see her because of the big rock.
Yeah, you can't see this person because of the big rock, but you can definitely see this person. You can see that lady on the boar, yeah.
From this angle, can I see the berserker at the back?
Yes, you can see them just about. I'll give them a +2 if it's a Risako. I'll give them a +2 to the AC probably because it's going.
No worries, that's good. I'm not going to ready any spells or anything like that because I don't want to tip them off.
Hendrik, anything you're doing?
I don't think there's anything I can do. I'm gonna just watch this fight.
All right, it's the gladiator's turn. He is going to again start to try and shield bash you to knock you down. I just prone you. So that's a 24 to hit. 9 bludgeoning damage.
9 damage.
DC 15 strength saving throw.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Just a giant fucking bounce off him.
So what happens is he basically raises his hand up straight above his head and comes down on you. You two-hand the warhammer. You drop your shield for a second, plant him going. You two-hand the warhammer, and everyone thinks that shield is going to crush his fucking body. The strength as he brings it down against you, and you just meet the entire shield as you watch Thoric go 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, just pushed into the soil from the force. And then Thoric just starts to straighten up and push against as the shield goes back and back and back further close towards the giant as you push off. And as soon as you go, wow, I pushed him off, just the spear comes into your gut twice. A natural 1 and a 23 for 8.
That's fine.
All right.
Thoric. I mean, the dice are telling a story here, though.
They are. Yeah. Thoric, it is your turn.
It is my turn. It's an action to heal, unfortunately. It's an action to use the periapt.
The periapt.
And it's a bonus action to use a potion.
Yeah, it's a bonus action to use a potion, yeah.
Does that count as cheating?
You're not sure. But he is looking pretty hurt.
Yeah,
Pretty out of health. It's a magic action, so it's a full action to heal from
it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my inspiration to reroll that. 18.
Reaction dodge.
Bless.
Wait. Bless D4.
Bless. Yeah.
20.
2. 20. 21 is now his AC.
Okay. And second swing. 29.
Dude, we've got to get you critting on 19s.
Yeah.
You've rolled like 3 or 4 of them this fight.
Yeah.
Alright, how do you knock the giant gladiator unconscious?
Let's
The tribal
go.
champion.
Nice.
So, what I do is, I take a swing at his shield to the point where it like comes off his arm, if that's allowed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally, yeah.
I do like a leg sweep to get him down on one knee
Mm-hmm.
with the warhammer, and then grabbing him by like. Does he have any hair visible? Like a hair there that I can grab? Or
He
is
has a little bit. No, he's bald headed.
Oh, he's bald headed. Does he have a beard?
Yeah, he has a beard. Yeah, his beard.
I grab his beard and I headbutt him.
Nice. So yeah, you do all that swing, bang, you headbutt him. Crap. Are you killing him or knocking him unconscious?
Knocking him unconscious.
Okay. You see him just as soon as Thoric headbutts him, his size just shrinks and he falls back unconscious 5 feet away from Thoric. Oh, not
Oh my god, he's tiny.
Yeah, he
Stuart Little, is
shrinks.
that you?
He fucking turns into like a foot tall.
There is an absolute period of just silence. Loranek, Torkel, and Orly, you're waiting for something to happen. Thoric, you have a moment. What do? You knock this giant tribal, half-giant gladiator unconscious. What do? Do you say anything? Do you scream anything?
No, I think what I do is I put like one foot on top of him. I use the periaptive health just in case things.
Your wounds clear.
Yeah,
Yeah, your wounds
let me just
clear.
roll
Yeah.
that. 2d4 plus 2. Oh well, okay. 6.
Yeah.
And are you not entertained?
The woman, the other tribals look towards her, and she's been biting her bottom lip so hard you see blood foam at the bottom of her mouth, just staring with cold anger.
Can I ready an action or hold an action or something
You
like
can
that?
hold an action, yeah.
On the woman north of me, if she makes a call for the rest of the tribe to start attacking, or if she herself engages, I'm going to take a shot on her.
Starts to move. She's walking the board. She hasn't drawn any weapons. She's just making this walk towards his unconscious body. Gets above him. Speaks something in the language. This tribal here beside the board starts to bring the other one down, just by its reins. And another 2 tribals come over, and a third, an orc berserker, in like basically just barely wearing anything. They hoof him up and lift him up onto the boar and fasten him to it. She looks down at you, Thoric. Strong blood, dragon. Waiting to reply.
Oh, your friend was strong. I was stronger.
Yeah.
She just stares at you. Says something in language, like a shout, like an order, and they all look worried for a second. And then the boar, grabbing him, starts to be led off by another tribal, pulling him on it, as they all start to slowly disperse and all fade back into the darkness. It's at this point, Orly, that a shape in the rock in front of you, a couple actually, materialize. 2 dark browned, scaly figures in the same kind of get-up with the dark markings of tattoos as 2 a couple stealthed agents waiting. start to
Nice.
retreat back and follow her. You see the entire troop of them all start to leave and head back into the desert. What do you do?
That's it. Oh, gone.
I suppose I'll just pop light on my shield so I can actually see what's around me, and just
Yeah, I'll do that for you.
look to the others, and just
Well
like
done.
just exasperated. He goes, "Do you have any food?"
I will make you something later. Well, let's go. But first, I'm just going to cast a level 1 Cure Wounds on him. Like, basically, like reach up, sort of Lydia, like hands on his shoulder, which is actually quite a bit higher up now that I think about it than he is. I'm first things first. Let's see how much I get. Get 9 health back.
Thank you.
It's something.
I'm 33 out of 50. That should be fine.
The caravan is just like they're all whispering amongst each other now. You see one of them slowly, delicately start to leave the field, the gathered huddle that they were in, start to approach you guys.
Yes.
Hello there. Are you okay?
Is anyone harmed?
A man with sweat on his brow, dark olive skin, with slightly red tinged hair, human man. Just thank you ever so much. Exasperated. And a woman in the back says, I should have told you we should have stayed in heat shade. And he looks, goes, quiet. Thank you. The gods answered our call for help. And he hustles down off the hydle, walks towards Thorak and goes to shake his hand. Thank you all.
I shake his hand, but like the adrenaline's still in me, so I grip a little bit too tight.
Yeah, he goes, yes, and kind of sees it, and like it's a bit strong for even his grip to feel it. Yeah. He does take 1 point of damage from the grip.
Oh my gosh!
Shit,
you did.
He has no hand left.
He has 24 hit points. He's okay.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
Not a commoner then.
Not a commoner.
Strong enough grip to kill a cat. So no.
He says, my name is Lord Orsino. We were trying to make fast for Rakmir when we decided to pitch up a camp in the boulder field off the road, and then that people, they harassed us and chased us into. We found some quicksand to hold our hidals in, so they couldn't approach. We'd been in a standoff for a few minutes before you managed to reach us in time and knock that big brute unconscious.
Is anyone of your people hurt?
No. They said they wanted the hidals, and they wanted all of our belongings. But from the looks they were giving, I don't think that we would have been allowed to walk out of there.
No.
I don't know if they plan to kill us or just take us somewhere else. But I didn't want to trust them.
Perhaps wise, but it seems we were in the right place at the right time. And my friend here, quite capable enough to deal with their champion. But I'm glad that none of your people are hurt.
Yes. And he looks over his shoulder and he says, Rita, Aguela, Olao, prepare some things. Fetch the ration supplies and the savings. We wouldn't be alive without these people. And he goes off to see to that.
I mean, Thor doesn't need their savings. He would just like a nice meal.
And Thorek, one more thing.
Yes.
Thank you for not killing him. I know you could have, but these seem like the thoughts, but that some people may believe need to die. I believe they could still be good. But that is for the future, it seems. For now, we celebrate a job well done, and you have earned your meal and rest.
Thank you. It's from a duel like that, there's no need to fight to the death. If he killed me, then I'm sure the rest of you guys would have avenged me. However, I myself, I think he probably would have let me live too.
Well, perhaps we will not need to know the time being. All that matters is that you chose not to. And for that, I am very grateful.
The merchant leader approaches over with a sack which is jingling with coins, and you see him like lift out like this £1 gold chunk, like a raw gold chunk. This gold is for keeping my people alive and the Heidels. Without it, it would have been useless even coming north. And at this point, all of you can smell the sweet aroma of spices from the many bags and saddles on the sides of the Heidels.
Oh, he's a spice trader?
Oh,
Oh,
hell
shit,
yeah.
he's rich!
Could I cast Prayer
Check
of Healing
spice.
on...
Yeah.
Steam Space.
Yeah.
I
You can
cast
cast
Locate
Therapy.
Spice.
Just a little... You get 18 points of... Well, you get like 23, but whatever gets you to full.
17 gets me to full, so thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Perfect. So he passes you these 3 hunks of gold, which are worth 50 gold pieces each.
Is that just to each of us, or just...
This is in total, so I'm running that in total. Passes you these 3 hunks of gold, that's for the Heidels. And then he gives you 120 gold pieces. Payment as thank you. It's like handing over the coins towards you, Lorok and Thoric. I cannot believe our fortune. It seems the goddess Mina did wish us to go to Rakmir on this night.
I am very grateful for this. And then Lerent will sort of put his hand on his shoulder as a calming presence. But can you just do me a favor? And he'll hand back the gold. Or at least the gold that's been given to Lurinok.
Yeah,
Keep this.
Gold.
Well, if he's handing it to each of us,
he's like more or less just passing out like whoever's hands are free, rather than being like, and this is for you, and this is for you. More just giving it to the entire party.
Yeah, Lurinok's going to give at least one of the gold chunks back. Everything that Lurinok feels is given to him, but saving you is reward enough for me. I do not need this. Keep it.
No, it is not right to have good favor pressed upon us by the gods and not returning kindness. And he hands back the chunk to Thoric. You must take this. Mina insists. The smiling coin would be displeased with my arrogance of not repaying the favor.
I appreciate the gift, thank you.
Do you need any help to get to where you are going, or will you follow the road from now?
He looks back over the troop, and there's a woman just giving him a glare. This dark-skinned, this halfling, dark-skinned halfling. And she just gives this look of, I fucking told you so. I think we will travel back to Heatshade this night, before they perhaps get an inkling to come back for revenge. Are you making camp here, or are you endeavouring on to Heatshade this evening?
We will accompany you to Heatshade to make sure that there are no other unfortunate runs.
Good. Our beasts have worked hard. And Jude says, it's worth it. Big, thick walls, a garrison of Templars. Those tribals aren't going to harass us there. And he gives it, yes, I know. It was stupid to leave, but anyway, mistakes I must atone for, I'm sure, with my trusted merchant companions. And they all kind of give like a groan, like, whoa, just like this. Why did we put him in charge?
This motherfucker.
Yeah. And, well, thank you. I'll round up my things, and we can press on to Heatshade together.
It would be our honor.
Okay. You collect all the belongings. Are you guys taking all the gold? I guess for the party fund.
I'd accept the gift.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn down this one.
So there is 120 divided by 5, 24 gold each.
Oh
Okay,
no, I'm not. I didn't do anything for this. I'm not taking any of that money. It's entirely yours as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Sam.
I'll talk to you, so I'm taking my money.
Yeah, I love that we spent all that time buffing. I don't know if most of our buffs were needed, actually.
So
Did he even roll? Is it low?
He rolled blessed like twice.
You can keep the money.
How about
You should
this?
keep
Thork
it.
keeps all the money, but when we get
Yeah.
to the tavern, he buys everyone room and drink.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the chunks of gold.
I'm going to build for this case.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you can just keep it.
get a necklace out of it if you want. I don't know.
3,
Yeah.
50,
Gold is in chunks of gold, right?
There's 3 like large raw chunks of gold, like travelers, like traveling commerce, and they're worth like 50 gold piece each, or about a pound
Okay.
in weight.
I have them.
Okay,
Cool.
you have 3 of them, so 150. Cool. So they all prepare their belongings. They get back on the Heidels. Heidels are pretty like relaxed beast at the best of times, so they are like pretty chill right now. And as you head off through the arid expanse, as darkness is now fully set in, as you all collect your belongings, it's about another 2 hours to heat shade in the darkness. I would, if you're traveling using your Heidels, I would like each person riding a Heidel to make a Constitution saving throw for the Heidel for the first hour.
What's
thing.
their con?
There's a character sheet.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so you're just using Heidel, and then Torkel will make a
Oh god.
giant lizard check. All right, okay. So
Do you want to roll it, Hendrik, or do you want Taco to roll it?
I'm trying to roll, but the character sheet keeps shrinking. I
I'll
can't
roll it.
Okay, there we go. Hold on, con. There it is.
Nice.
Hendrik and Torkel's Heidel is fine. Lyranok and Thoric, both your Heidels take a point of exhaustion. I'm just like pushing through. Your one succeeds, Orly. All of theirs succeed, despite them being ran so hard this eve. Alright, so that's the first star. For the next star, another Constitution saving throw to push on the heat shield.
There's a disadvantage now, isn't it?
This would be a disadvantage, yeah.
No, I don't think it's disadvantage yet.
Oh wait, no,
Exhaustion is skill checks.
Oh, skill checks, yeah, never mind.
I think, actually,
skill check.
To be honest, I'm not too well versed in exhaustion. I'll double check that.
I would just say roll a flat con save.
I have the exhaustion level tracker on the character sheet. So 1 is ability checks, 2 adds half speed, 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. 4
I'm going to say it's not disadvantage then, since it calls out ability saving throws at first or at 3,
Yeah.
so it's not disadvantage then. It's a con saving throw. A success for Thoric. So just the 1. Yep, fine for you, Lyranok. Let's see if their 3 succeed.
It would help. I guess it depends on what happens to them, but it might be better if we slow it down.
I just saw the
It might help a little bit.
Overlord meme.
Yeah, I thought that was just quite appropriate. Where it's just like, hang on 1 minute, buff.
You see that on the second hour, you start to come around the corner. Are you speaking to these guys at all when you're traveling, or are you just like consumed effort?
I mean, Lyranok will be chatting with them if they're okay with it.
Okay. And do you speak to the leader, or you try and speak to any of the others?
Any of the above, really. Like,
Okay.
he's not being picky about who he speaks to. Just like,
what are you trying to learn?
he's not particularly trying to learn anything. He's more like checking on them. Like, they've just went through something that was pretty stressful. He's more like, he's not going like all therapist on them, but just like idle talk, keeping the minds off it, keeping them in the moment. It's like just sort of helping them, I guess, come down from the shock, I guess.
Speaking of these merchants, this isn't the first time I've ever been shaken down. So they're still shaken up by the prospect of what was going to happen, but they're not too worried.
That's not too bad, but I think Lyranok's still concerned enough that he's going to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
You'll still
Okay.
be chatting with them. And like I said, he's just trying to make mostly idle talk, really. Like,
Yeah, they seem much more relaxed now. And as you come into the end of the second hour, where they're not talking to most of the merchants on and off, you start to come around the bend and you see an octagonal walled structure. You see Alashar stone encompassing basically a dropped-in walled structure on the inside. You see towering plumes of smoke from the interior of the wall. Large hanging flags slowly waving in the dark wind from the moonlight, and light kind of giving this dull glow upwards on the interior of the wall, almost like a beacon in the middle of the desert. You can see small shacks and lodgings surrounding the exterior of the large circumference of the walls. The walls are about 120 feet high. They're grey matte, and they're coated in the kind of dusty brown sand at the bottom as it gets cleaner and cleaner as it rises up. You can hear as you get closer, about a mile to half a mile, getting closer. You can hear like activity. You can hear talking and beasts moving around and all these things. And as you get to about 180 feet to kind of the exterior of the walls, a couple shapes come out of the darkness. You instantly recognize them, Loranic, as Raising Flame Templars. They are wearing dark desert clothing, a mix of browns and blacks. Their fatigues are unlike any other Templars. They are skirmishers. They are fight and fade tactics. They don't wear big breastplates. They wear light armor. They have series of vials and scroll pouches on their belts and their chests. They are the only Templars to use pointed, serrated weapons. Scimitars and short bows stand at the ready. And the leader, this gnomish man, looks at the travel of you, and just touches his head. I told you, merchant, you shouldn't have gone out there. I've had to trouble these folk bringing you back. I know, good Sir Knight, but... And Knight just cuts him off and speaks towards you, your party. This is now the territory considered within the realm of Heatshade. You are now once again under the laws of the lands. Act respectfully and accordingly. Understood?
Understood.
Understood.
No. Can I do an insight check?
Yeah.
Also, sorry, did he say he sent us after them?
Yeah, is that what he was implying there? Also, like, can I do an insight check to see if he's simply saying the roads are dangerous? Like, if it feels like he's saying, like, the roads are dangerous, I
saying the
told you
roads are
not to
dangerous,
go.
and now these randomers, these strangers who I've
Okay.
never met before, have had to basically work to get you back here safely.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to know if he knows anything about that, right?
Yeah.
18.
18. You get the sense, based on how well armed these Templars are, that they know the roads around Heatshade are dangerous. And this is when you approach a town, any of the towns you guys approach in this campaign, there's usually like guards at the gate, brass shields at the gate. These aren't brass shields, these are silver Templars, these are knights of the realm on the exterior of the town, seeing who's coming in and out.
This is the equivalent of like a military checkpoint.
Yes, definitely. I mean, you can only see 3 of them, but you know with your training and your background, there's probably a couple dozen more scattered around the hills around Heatshade, patrolling.
Hey, we met one of them. Or we met...
You did meet one of them. You met a scout watching this on the Citadel Road.
Sweet.
That was a scribe, basically. Not a scribe, a squire. Not a full knight, but these are full knights. Yeah. They have these dark interior. The interior of the cape is a dark red and the exterior is a muddy brown. And you see the symbols of the Raising Flame Templar Order on their clavicles, on their armament, and even inscribed on some of their blades as well. And he looks up and says, you may pass, but there is now, as there always was, a charge for entering Heatshade. Are you aware of this?
No. We were never informed of any charge to enter the city. Town.
Staying on the exterior
Outpost.
walls is free of charge, but if you want to enter Heatshade, it is 5 gold pieces per person, mandated by the Ministry of Masterworks on behalf of the Church of Kinos to pay for the upkeep of such an exuberant and well-drilled structure in the middle of the desert, which costs a lot of money. Such and such. I hate having to explain this to strangers, but anyway, it's 5 gold if you want to go inside.
Yeah,
This
true.
feels like Riften.
Can I do like a history check to see if I can read that? Because, especially because it's directly related to the Church of Kinos and the Masterworks.
You can make a check of advantage, yeah. 15. Yeah, the Heatshade and much other midway points between towns have always had attacks. This is quite an expensive one, and you know that because when you study it in Erith, this point gets hit really hard by sandstorms during the Everstorm month by Talos, and it's about a day riding, 2 days walking, both from Rackmere and from Breakwater. So to get supplies to it, it's quite hard, and it takes a lot of money to pay people to be out here to constantly fix it and keep the upkeep. So it's basically the first tax.
It's price gouged, but it's a fair price gouge.
It's a fair price. It's a fair price, but it is expensive.
Yeah, 5 gold is a lot for most people.
Yeah, but especially merchants coming up and down the road.
25, right? So that's 16
Yeah.
takes me to 100.
And he goes, no, you pay at the gate. They don't trust us Templars with the money. There's brass shields to pay at the gate.
Okay. I vaguely recollect something about this when I was studying. I assume that members of the Church of Kinos are always happy to pay, so I will do so.
Received. Understood. Well, you may press on. I believe there are few rooms left in the guest house.
That is good to hear.
Yeah.
I will go and pay for the full party at the gate.
At the gate?
I got the winnings. I can pay for it.
Yeah, no, Thork has the winnings.
So
no, this is okay. These will probably come back around to me at some point anyway, so it's really not losing any man. If it goes directly to the church, then I'm more than happy to pay. So yeah, I'll make a payment. I don't mind.
Okay. As you move past this exterior military patrol, you see the handful of outbuildings which have been raised on the perimeter. You get the sense these buildings are destroyed by the Everstorm, then rebuilt, then destroyed by the Everstorm and rebuilt, because some of them look pretty piss poor in condition. You see many travelers on the exterior of the wall, at least a good couple dozen. You also do see a handful of animal pelt skinned tents. You see people dour and dying of spirits. You recognize a lot of these people that look similarly outworldly on the bounds of civilization as gnolls. You see a lot of gnolls. They have the air of them of being displaced, and they're not within the walls from what you can see. It's an exterior.
What is the level that like gnolls are at? Like, are they?
Gnolls can perfectly function within the society.
Oh, neat. Okay, I was going to say, are they similar to the kobolds in that they're sort of known about but not really?
There's gnolls within society and people who are priests or warriors. You've met a knight who's gnoll once or twice.
Oh, that's sick.
They tend to be more like, if anything, they're closer to the Church of Thesnir and tend to prefer to be way out in the wilds.
They're the outwilders on.
Yeah,
I love it. So, that's so cool.
Seeing so many of them look dour and close to the exterior walls of Heatshade is not a comforting sign. You see that there are priests of Arias and also Boldre bringing food and have bubbling cauldrons of cooking meals, and they're preparing soup and cooking stuff for these people. There's maybe like 150 gnolls that you can see roughly. That's the ones just in the exterior. They're not inside the tents. You can hear some children laughing and playing, running around, gnollish children, and some others like looking dour and babes crying, or I guess cubs crying.
Oh, can I? I'm assuming this is on the. This is outside.
This is on the exterior wall of Heatshade. Yeah.
Okay. Because Linux been around a while and may have been to Heatshade at some point. Is it like you pay it once and then you can come and go more or less as needed, or
It's
is
a
it like
day rate.
it's a day rate? Cool. I just want to make sure it's not like fucking club rules or anything where it's like you pay, you come in. If you ever leave, you have to pay back. Cool. Excellent. I want to go over, and you say it was a priest of Arius at making.
There's a priest of Arius
kitchen?
currently like putting some healing blessing magic over a sick gnoll lying on a cot on the exterior of a tent. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would like to go and help out with them then. Pretty much the plan is if he sees that like the gnolls or that this priest of Arius is going around, just go and offer assistance and like I'm trained in some medicine. I will see these people need assistance. I'm glad to provide it.
Yeah. She turns, looks at you with a kind of soft voice. This woman, like wearing the kind of like sun covered in shape of a rising star headdress, with light yellow overalls and vestments. Her arms are exposed as she reaches them up from the vest and is like laying this kind of wafting healing energy over the belly of this gnoll who's unconscious. That would be appreciated, Angel.
Cool. I will, in that case, given up, will spend some time out here on the outside. He'll sort of wave the rest of the party in. I will join in a moment. But people here need some help, and
Sounds
feel
good.
wrong for me to turn away. Yeah, he'll spend. I don't know how long it's going to be, but like helping out effectively if there's anyone that's order of priority. Anyone that's injured.
Yeah.
Anyone that's sick. And then if there's none of those left, maybe I don't know, go and try help out in the food kitchens, offer some passing food around.
You're a triage nurse.
Yeah, basically.
Understood.
Like
Understood.
I'm not. He's not medical enough to be full doctor, but he's medically trained enough to be like I can help.
Yeah.
I've assumed we've done stables already. Then
the stables are actually a funny one. So while Leonard goes off and do this, I'm really before you see that. Go ahead. What do you want to do, Thork?
I was going to say just Thork would like to assist Leonard for a while, and then spend time taking note of everything that's happened.
It's fine. We'll take your What the fuck had he got? Idols. We'll take the idols. Well, I'm heading. I want to get to the stables, get rid of the
Remember,
idols.
the left one is ham, the right one is cheese.
I'll describe to you what you see when you head over to what you recognize the smell of idols and you go that way. You see and smell a waft of carrion and flesh unlike anything you've ever had close to you before in your life. Around the kind of the north side of the wall on the exterior buildings, you see a vast amount of people and beasts. You see dead horses, wild horses, dead mules, thundered goats, and other creatures of the plain of the arid expanse. Giant spiders, snakes, giant snakes.
Jesus. Yeah, that's better.
Giant snakes. I purposely meant to say snakes. Giant snakes being like cut open by teams of people, and they're basically tipping out all the innards in like troughs, which then fed up into this massive conveyor of wheels and gadgets and crank cog wheels that's going up into this huge tube, which is about 25 feet in diameter, about 60 feet in height, as it's just being churned up. And you see there's this kind of frosty chill on all of it on the exterior of this metal canister, like supersized canister, as it goes up to the top and drops it all in. You see as well that there's a team of people currently cutting up this massive creature. It's about 180 feet in length. This huge purple hided worm, which is in the process of being disemboweled, quartered, and then positioned into the trough system to be filled into it. And you see on one of the exterior walls that's cordoning some of the debris and some of the animal waste away from people just carelessly walking into it. You see that the name of this place is called Ripper's Feeding, and it's just got a price: 3 claws a day for Heidels.
Beautiful. So this is a stable / animal feed generator.
Yeah, because Heidels are carrion eaters. They eat live or meaty prey, and this is just a collection of maybe like about 40 medium-sized creatures plus the huge dead purple worm.
How much is it per idol?
3 claws, so 3 silver.
Okay, how many? We have 5 idols, right?
4, I think.
Oh, 4?
So 12.
Okay,
12,
cool.
12 silver.
I'll pay that one off then.
Cool. A guy in this dark red kind of get up, not from dye, but from dried blood, comes up to you and goes, "Thank you. You can get them back in the morning.
Thank you.
They'll be well fed."
As I'm covering my nose, thank you, and I shuffle off.
Yeah, he opens his hand, you drop the silver coins in, and he kind of like closes his hand over it, and you see all the silver coins just get covered in blood because his hands are still like running red with what he's just cut up.
Cool. Without explaining to the other two, I'm literally going to shuffle off and try break away if I can.
Sure. Make a stealth check.
Okay.
That one.
Or he disappears into the
very close, just near the complete opposite of a natural one.
So Orly, he just pays, and you guys, "Oh, thanks, Orly," and then he's just gone. He's just
He's gone.
Was he ever there to begin with?
Cypher, I'm just gonna take a 5 to 10 minute break. If I'm stealth, I can come back to me later. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Cheers.
Cool. That's right. Orly disappears, as he usually does. Hendrik, Thoric, and Torkel, what do the 3 of you do? Do you head into Heat Shade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I do.
Okay. You see pretty heavily armored brass shields at the front of Heat Shade, and they gesture for you to hand over your identity stones. They scan them, give you a clear 1 by 1, and then ask for you to pay 5 gold once you're all cleared each.
Yeah, I'll pay that.
Okay.
Well,
15 gold.
I've deducted the 20. Oh,
because you're only paying for 3.
No.
Orly hasn't gone in yet, nor is wait,
can I
sorry.
leave?
You can leave some and say, "Oh, if someone asks for this name, under this name, I've paid for that."
Cool. Yeah, I'll leave the remainder of because I already deducted it from my sheet and everything like that. So I'll leave.
Sure.
I'll say to them, who's not came in yet? Sorry.
Loranok, Thoric, and Orly.
Yeah, I'll just say if anybody with the names Loranok, Thoric, and Orly, and then I'll obviously give their surnames. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Please to be from this fund here as well, and then I pass the money to them.
Yeah.
Also, is there a priest of Kinosi in the city or a place of worship?
There is a priest, but in these hours they would have probably retired to their quarters.
That's okay. I can see them in the morning. I appreciate your information. Thank you.
Enjoy the back end of nowhere, friend. And they open the huge portcullis that's currently closed. Like opens it up, and then you walk inside. As you enter, you see from the exterior building, which is pretty run down, Heat Shade itself is actually a lot busier and a lot more full than you thought. There are half a dozen buildings which probably look like lodgings, like quick lodgings, like lets basically. And amongst all that, you do see the familiar signs of knights. You see squires sharpening swords, finishing and repairing tact that's being placed upon camels. You see half a dozen camels in here that are all like studded, and they're all wearing armor as well, these camels. You see a couple of knights walking around as well as brass shields. There are a couple merchants around in like groups gathering and talking, people playing dice games in the open as well. And then you see the kind of large shape of the guest house. It's well signposted. You see the Heat Shade guest house. And this is, for lack of a better term, a fantasy-sized hotel, which has various outbuildings and designations for like basically lesser house of Heat Shade, or northeastern series of cottages that's connected to Heat Shade. And there's a large central structure inside. It is made up of dark brown desert stone on the exterior, and it's been painted in places of brilliant blue and white to make it really truly stand out and pop. There are candle lights and oil lights scattered around the interior of Heat Shade. The general mood in this evening is one of relaxation and general people settling into the night. You can see people out in the open in front of the major guest house, like having tankards and glasses of wine. And then at the back of the guest house, and a connecting outbuilding, which is quite large, looks almost like what we kind of know as like a huge barn. You see a large gathering of knights at ease and squires around them, and camels laying down, sleeping in hastily built pens. What would the two of you like to do?
Sorry, it's me. I might go see if I can join in one of the card or dice games.
Sure. So you go ahead and find one of those card games. Hendrik, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Hendrik doesn't actually know. He's in a place that he has no information about, and he's not used to that. Usually, he has some information about where he's going, and who the players are. But now he's just in a fucking middle of. He's just gonna sit at the bar, or like, yeah, there's a bar, right?
You can go into the guest house and find a stool next to the large tavern if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hendrik's gonna find just a group of people who are drinking, and just out of basically instinct is going to just try and get information from them, and drunk people speak more.
Okay. All right. So with Lorana counted for Torkel going to play guards, Thorak assisting Loranak, Hendrik going to fetch a drink, and the tailor too, and Orly now stealthing away for his own goals. We're going to go ahead and take a quick 15-minute break there.
Sounds
Oh,
good
sick.
to me.
Also, you take inspiration as well if you didn't already have it, Thorak, for that fight against the fucking tribe
He had it, but
champion.
he used it.
No, I
Yeah.
have.
So you get it back.
Thank you.
Feeding back to the exterior walls of Heatshade in the moonlight and the cloudy sky above, you are healing gnolls, Leonok, with assistance of your friend, Thoric. These gnolls are suffering, best you can tell, from malnutrition, some broken bones, lacerations, and exhaustion. And as you basically go around and you're asking the priests of Arias and some of the priests of Boldre, what you can gather, and what both of you hear, is that these gnolls have been displaced from their homes and tribal lands to the east of Heatshade, to lands close up against the river to the east. A few weeks ago, what your peoples referred to as apostate tribals, people from Kalmarsha, from the Badlands on the other side of Slumbering Bluffs, pioneered their way over the mountains, crossed the river, and have razed and destroyed and plundered a lot of tribal lands of these gnolls, leaving them with little choice but to come closer to civilization. To find shelter within Heatshade, some have went to Breakwater, but most of them don't want to leave their birthing lands that far away. The two of you can make either history checks, or you can ask me a couple more questions about what you've overheard.
Just so one thing, I'm assuming then more natural environment would be what, the arid expanse, or is it further east than that?
Arid expanse would be like arid expanse, like right up until where it meets the river, and then there too would be like where the region the gnolls are known to live in, and they live lives of subsistence hunting, of light farming, and sometimes moving around as the storms dictate during the winter months for shelter and food.
So, I mean, a peaceful life.
Yeah.
And gnolls of their talents. You said it was like a couple of weeks ago, was it?
Started about 2 to 3 weeks ago that these first kind of reports started to reach Heatshade and other powers in the realm that there was a multitude of different tribes that have came over the Slumbering Bluff mountain range and are encroaching on Knoll lands. Not just one, but that's why you refer to them as the apostate tribals. Your people cares little for what they believe or what they do. You know
It's
that they
just
are
that they're
godless
not.
heathens.
They are not. They don't believe in our gods, so therefore it's
They
irrelevant.
do not believe in your gods, and what gods they do believe in gives them dark powers, usually ones that they have to satiate with blood and
Ooh,
brute
are they, like,
strength.
as in actively evil, or
Some of them, not all of them, but some of them.
okay. Just a question. So, was there any kind of discussion with the Gnolls, or was it just an immediate? They've appeared and they're
They
attacking?
just appeared and started attacking or taking tribes hostage, or in the worst cases, indenturing them as slaves and taking them back over the other side of the river,
Oh no!
never to be seen again or recovered.
We can't. We can't allow that. Okay. Just when it came to the Gnolls, were they were they like a unified group, or was it more like they had small like tribes of their own and they
Probably
were
looking
scattered?
at between these 150 people, which you know I gather is close to maybe 200. There's probably 3 different family clan sizes that know all of each other, and like they don't war with each other, but they know to spread their gene pool. They move around them a lot, but they usually live in a couple different regions, no more than a day or two's away from each other. There's one that specialized in being a fishing village, another one that was more mountainous and lived in the highlands of the arid expanse, another one which lived actually close to an underground ruin and ventured underneath the earth for their supplies.
Okay, so they were close, but like
Distinct enough.
relatively scattered.
Yeah.
Like, so it wasn't like there was a giant battle. It was a bunch of different tribes, or a number of these apostate tribes, sort of snatching groups of them. It's not like they had an open field battle of
No, nothing
400
like
versus
that.
400.
Nothing like that. And there is that worry of who's to say what other tribes that these guys haven't told us about that might still be missing or gone entirely.
Yeah.
Of Knolls. Your people, your language, you tend to refer to them as clans because that sounds better than calling them tribals as well.
Yeah.
Calling someone a tribal in this society is like you're godless, you don't respect our lands, you're a stranger, you're a foreigner, you're an outsider. So they tend to call them like no clans, yeah.
Okay. Could we possibly get any kind of description on these apostates? Like, we just so happened to come across a group of people that were like that.
Yeah.
Do they match like the kind of description?
Make a history check. You can make a history check as well, Thoric.
I'm fantastic at history.
History, eh?
Yeah.
Intelligence check, eh?
Now, you cannot do worse than me. You physically can't.
True, because even though I have -2 intelligence, I am proficient in history, so I get +1 in it.
Brilliant.
Dude, between the two of us, we are still dumb as shit.
Your history and your learning about combatants and people outside your culture was focused primarily on the mages of Taeland. And Thoric, for you, what history you have about this region is about like crop infrastructure and harvesting yields within the mines east of Breakwater. Like it's not. This isn't like this information about apostate tribals. This isn't like super well known stuff. This is something like a boogeyman almost kind of stuff.
We know they exist, and that's about.
You know they exist, and they're not to be trusted. But well, with a 3 and a 1, they shouldn't be in your lands this far. They should be being held back by Silver Templars.
But if I'm assuming we don't really have major defenses across the mountain range.
No, but the more you hear, there's one thing, and before we fade to anyone else, there's one thing that people are confused by, and you'll sit with this before you see with your allies again. That region, there is an entity which lays claim to that borderland between the Slumbering Bluffs and the mouth of the river on the west-hand side.
It's the dragon matron, isn't it?
It's Bar Razir.
Oh, that's the one. Sorry, the name does not stick.
Either the Jewelstone Jackal does not care or encourages these incursions. That's something you'll sit with. And we drift off to Twickle. There's men playing cards. They're playing the country's collectible card game. You want to go in for a round?
I would like to.
Sure. So you get handed basically a starter deck. It has no bonuses applied to it. It's a best of 3. What is your wager?
Having looked at the game beforehand, what do the pots regularly look like?
In this region, probably like max pot is maybe like 3 or 4 gold. Most people are betting just silver or even copper.
Cool. I will bet 2 silver.
Okay. It's a best of 3. You roll 2d6 and see if you get higher than your opponent. Best of 3 wins.
Okay.
So I'll roll for your opponent first as they show their hand first. They got a 5, so they put a couple cards out in front of you. They put a cavalryman of the Order of the Unbreakable. They put a war mage of tier, a battle priest. Sorry, not war mage, a battle priest. And they also put a unicorn down.
Ooh, like unicorns. All right.
6. So you just beat him. So you're playing the same faction. You're playing the Concord faction. You put down like a couple pikemen, like irregulars or regulars that formed in one of the Templar orders, a griffin-mounted knight, and a giant is what wins you the round. You put down a giant serving in one of the orders of the Templars as well. Next round, I'll roll for your opponent. They'll go first. They rolled a 3. They drew very badly.
Oh, hell yeah.
So while you're like shuffling through the starter deck, you pull one of the best cards in the starter deck. You have to borrow it off somebody. You pull a Royal Manticore. And it's a wild beast. It is not usually part of your faction. However, this is a wild manticore which is claimed and used as a mount by the Grand Master of the Order of the Unbreakable Silver Templars. Yeah, so you've won 2 rounds. You get 4 silver pieces. Good game. Good game. You must play a lot.
No, this is probably just beginner's luck, but it was a good game. I will maybe use this money to start my own deck. Give the deck that I borrowed back to whoever I borrowed it from.
Yeah, he like goes to shuffle it again, and, like looks for anyone else. Yes, I've had to start a deck for a while. I've been saving up some earnings to see if I can purchase a unique card.
Is there someone in town who sells these cards?
Not in Heat Shades. Breakwater's your best chance. There's sometimes tournaments in each town held a couple times a year. Big chance for offerings there, but usually only people with the best cards show up to those ones.
I see. Maybe I will inquire when we make it to Breakwater. Thank you for your time.
You too as well. Favor upon you. And he goes and says, "You want to play a game?" And to another randomer, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm drinking."
Let's go bowling.
Okay, so you play that. Hendrik, while you're sitting in the Heat Shade, basically drinking lounge area, and there's like definitely some mercenaries around, merchant caravaneers resting for the night. You don't see knights in here. Seems not permitted to just coalesce and be around the common persons. Why don't you roll me either perception check or maybe a
insight?
What are you trying to do? How are you trying to get information from people?
I guess it'd be persuasion. I'm just trying to put on the.
Oh, I'm just a traveler and this and that. Yeah.
I'm just for a couple hours. I'm just gonna be an extrovert.
Okay, sure. Make a persuasion.
Friendly smiles and all that, and just hang out. Let's see. No, I would like to use one of my spells. I would like to use enhance ability.
For advantage.
Yeah, I'll just step outside, cast a spell, step back inside. Give me advantage. Cool. Yeah. Advantage on persuasion. 22. And here's what I'm looking for. Stuff that's happening here just generally anything unusual. But more
Mhm.
I'm interested in is the road ahead. What experiences have other people had traveling south of here? What information? Breakwater. Just general. I'm just hoarding knowledge.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Cool. So I'll tell you a few things about that. And just general investing. So we'll start off with the road south. The road south has had a bit of turmoil recently. There's been a series of what people would call accidents, but more just fatal runnings up against the local wildlife. A series of creatures known as truthics, hive burrowing monstrosities, have been attacking caravanners and general people coming up and down the road south. Some shepherds have been lost, and people don't really travel the road at night anymore south. People are absolutely urged to stick to the road, and there are Silver Templar patrols patrolling up and down the road. But even with that, many people use the road and just nip off the side of the road for a lavatory break or just to set up a cooking pot. And unfortunately, their feet is burrowed out from underneath them, and they fall in a hole and are consumed by these burrowing, warren-creating underground insectoid monstrosities. Going into further south, Breakwater is in a bit of turmoil at the minute. Its archzealot is dead. The post has not been replaced. And there's been murmurings that there's been a great upset with the largest guild within Breakwater, the League of the Golden Veil. Displeased with either the halting of a choice of a new archzealot or just general friction with the Golden Council. Things in Breakwater have become more expensive. Inflation has gripped the town, gripped the city. It is the most profitable sector of this country. Breakwater is where nearly all the trade comes in and out of. Great wealth comes in and out of Breakwater, and you can't really pick up. There's a bunch of rumors of why the League of the Golden Veil has used their powers. For most of the businesses in Breakwater are members of the League of the Golden Veil. So if the League says you'll raise your prices because to generally harm whatever economic rival they have, which at this moment is the Golden Council, it seems to be pissing a lot of people off. And that's where you gather a lot of the merchants are leaving Breakwater because running costs are too high right now to be operating in Breakwater. Some of them are choosing to head by boat to Seaton, Burrow, or Saltmarsh. Meanwhile, others are heading overland into Rackmere to escape the worst of their dwindling coffers. Thirdly, tribals. There has been a requisition which was not asked for by anybody, but the Grand Master of the Raising Flame Order of Knights Templars, or the Silver Templars, has positioned a force of knights to be based in Heatshade to patrol and scour the area for tribals which have came over the slumbering Bluff mountain range and have already made a lot of trouble. They've attacked and killed and slaved away Noldish tribes and also travelers and caravanners on the roads. There's been a great amount of effort. So go ahead.
The people we ran into, do those match
So fit the description? Yeah, they fit the description.
Is there okay? Sounds good.
But with the 22, there's a lot of indecision between the force of Silver Templars here, the Raising Flame. Their Lord Seneschal is currently in the large barn house at the exterior of Heatshade, and him and a Ravensword mercenary leader cannot make a decision of what to do about the tribals long term for fear of upsetting the great dragon Bar Ruzir, the Jewelstone Jackal. Unsure of where allegiances lie. Is this something she wants? Is this something that is planned? Or does she simply not care that we're experiencing troubles on her lack of action? With 22, that's pretty much everything that's going on in the local area within Heatshade.
Okay, all right, thank you. That explains a lot, actually. Okay, thank you.
No problem. It's at this point that after helping a lot of people, Loranek and Thoric head back into town. Orly, you're you don't have to pay gold, but as you go up to the brass shields, start to present your identity stone, the brass shield walks up to you, plate armor, and they are this. It's this kind of gruff-looking dwarven man. He walks up to you. Good evening, Lord. I see your shoelaces untied. Allow me to use the blessings of Kinos to fix that for you. And gestures for the side of a little side alley in one of the outbuildings on the exterior of Heat Shade to come along, Orly.
Is this suspicious?
I mean,
They
yeah.
say the cool word covertly.
That
the code word
sounds
covertly.
Sorry, I say it again.
They say the code word covertly towards you.
Do they?
They do.
Okay, I must not remember it then. Okay, yeah, cool. I'll follow.
Cypher, is this a Tumblr joke?
No.
What?
Oh, okay.
No.
Tumblr, the way to notice people outside is you walk. If you see someone's like a member of Tumblr and you meet them in real life, you start the conversation by saying, "Hey, cool shoelaces," and the response is "Thank."
No one knows this.
No.
I think
I thought it was something.
I
got to do
think
with
Ryan
mine.
is
No,
just
I
Tumblr
I completely
enough.
forgot. Cypher, sorry, my bad.
Well, you fucking
Anyway.
your shoelaces are untied. I thought it was a fucking
No, you
secret
No,
society
this
thing.
is a
No.
fantasy world, Ryan, where Tumblr doesn't exist.
Oh,
Yeah.
shut the fuck.
That's
Yes,
fine.
but you exist in a world with memes, dude.
I do exist in a world of mean. I apologize. Sorry, that was a low blow. I apologize. Anyway,
Yeah,
as
cool.
this dwarf gestures you off to the side alley, you see therefore twist, disguised self drops, and you see your companion, which left a day earlier. You see Sophia Neves in traveling garbs and a cloak. You made it so quick. I was worried.
Everything developed very quickly. Your spell worked. I thank you for that.
Good.
Have you learned anything?
I have. She kind of removes the kind of the face garb that she has. You see her Azamar form, pale skin. She looks you up and down. Fancy looking crossbow you got there.
Yeah. So I'll catch you up to date after you let me know, I
Okay.
suppose.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't see you grab that on the way out, so I'm sure that's an interesting story. Yes, I did find something. There's a fence underneath the guest house inside of Heat Shade. I think it's where people are getting these identity stones that we talked about earlier.
Some kind of group organization.
I don't know. There's a door underneath one of the cellars. You need to kind of like covertly head to it. It's not so obvious, but I've seen some Ravensword mercenaries go in and out, even a night or two. A night scribe go in and out. So, and people come out with, armaments or scrolls. It just seems like a general kind of
Black market.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But obviously, if someone's going to walk out of there with a identity stone, I don't think I'm going to go swinging around.
Okay,
I
that's
know where it
good.
is. The only thing that I managed to overhear is they don't allow you to bring weapons in. You can go in with your armor, but any weapons, they've got a case, a trunk. You got to put them in. Can't go in there armed.
You've only seen
I
knights.
overheard this. Sorry, ask me again.
Has there been any other civilians, merchants, anybody else?
Yeah, there's been a couple. Yeah.
Okay. So it's shady, but it's not dangerous.
I don't think so. It's been strange. I've had to work really hard to not be noticed. These knights have keen eyes, especially the ones with the raising flame. I've never really seen them or had to deal with them much before, but they're very persistent in their patrols.
Okay. Well, about my new acquired armaments, your home has been raided, unfortunately.
Okay.
We my party was obviously imprisoned, but it seemed to be some kind of diversion from within to discover infiltrations to the brass shields and such. So we were given a pardon essentially, and as a reward, we were pretty much given your chest that you
As
left
your
behind.
reward, you got all my shit. Is that right? And smirks at you.
I assumed you'd have no issue with it, given what everything that's
No.
happened.
Wasn't going to be like I could have got back and get it anyway. As long as I've got these, and gestures towards your needlepoint daggers and the armor she's wearing, which is very similar to yours, but a bit finer, a bit more regal, a bit more utilitarian than yours that you're wearing now.
I'm happy to hand it over if you need it more than that.
No. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
So
there is an
your
issue.
Friends? Yeah.
Obviously, we have a certain amount of trust for each other. And this is the reason why I'm here alone as well. I'm more than happy to regroup with the rest of my party. However, just a forewarning, I'm not sure how easy and open they would be to trusting. Certainly not as much as me, I don't think. That's an assumption, however.
That's fair, considering our last meeting and everything. Kind of went bad for you guys after you left my company, as you said. Well, things went really shit for me as well.
You did lose your home.
Was a pain. There's all that rotten meat outside. I've been using some of that, but I think my cat's got farts really bad now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so there's a fence inside, kind of numbers over fingers. The fence inside. There's knights inside. I can get in and out reasonably okay. It'll take me a bit of time because I basically got to disguise myself as a guard and walk back in because I don't have identity stone, obviously, because didn't need one. So yeah, either you can come back on the outside or I can try and link up with you inside. But I don't know if you want to go tell your friends what I told you. But I'll keep myself hidden if you think that's best.
Yeah. Do you need gold?
No. I've gestured towards a coin purse. I've got enough to keep me here for a few weeks if that's what it takes.
Let me talk with the rest of them. I've had chances to explain, but I just haven't, I guess. Let me reach back out tomorrow. You have the symbols. I'll be able to find you surely somewhere around here. What direction of this place are you? Are you northbound, southbound?
I'm just staying in one of the abandoned houses on the exterior. There's actually a lot of really nice houses that no one's living in. So I'm just finding one of those. I won't tell you which, obviously, because you could still be trying to stab me in the back. I don't know. But the way to this fence, if you go in the back north-hand side of the guest house, you'll start to see the script we talked about, the thieves' cant. You follow that, you find the door, knock on it, and as long as you got enough gold, I think you got to show you got at least 100 gold to spend. They'll let you in, but you got to disarm in their kind of whatever they do in there. I didn't go in, but that's what they ask you to do.
Okay. What's your plan, by the way, after whether we get in here or not? Are you heading further south?
Well, we might get a lead on the woman and the girl, maybe even a lead on the 600 man. I'm not sure. Depending on what you guys dig up. If that doesn't happen, no, we don't make many ends. I'll probably try to head back into Liberty Corner and Breakwater, see if I can drum up either finding limes or coal, or at least get a lead on the two of them.
Okay. Do you know what, Sophia? I think I've changed my mind. I think you should come with me and regroup with the rest of them. I think Hendrik would be more annoyed with me if I didn't, with everything that's going on, because there's stuff linking up now, which trading or exchanging information could benefit, as opposed to me walking on eggshells on this situation.
Okay. Well, you head inside, and if you just sit in front of the house in the tavern area of the guest house, and I'll come find you guys maybe in about 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that.
That sounds good. I need to regroup. I have no idea where the rest of them are. I kind of slipped away as well, so we're a little bit split apart.
Okay.
I'll wait at the tavern.
Yeah. She puts the disguise back on. Look at that! Good as new shoelace for you!
Thank you, sir.
And just walks away. So, Lernok and Thoric eventually see Hendrik from a side window wave you guys in. Torkel, you join them just before that. And Orly, you head in. And all your goals have been paid for by the kind man Torkel. And the five of you reconvene. If you want to get a drink here, it is I'll tell you if you guys want to get a drink, I'll just sum up at the end.
Yeah, sure. I'll get everyone around the drinks.
I said I'd get the drinks. So
True.
Okay.
True.
Sure. Okay.
how much is it again?
It would be for wine. It would be 2 silver wine if you want, or you can just get a gallon of ale for the table for 2 silver.
So 2 gallons.
2 silver, 2 gallons. Okay.
Yeah,
yes,
I was
4
gonna say,
silver.
I don't think a gallon's gonna do it.
4 silver so far.
Okay, so now that Thoric's got his drink, what about the rest of us?
Yeah.
So 2 gallons for you, just you, and then do you buy your other 3 allies a cup of wine?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 1 gold piece for you then. So 3 cups of wine, and then 4 gallons in total of ale. There's multiple multiple mugs set out for you guys as well, so multiple people can fill. So you're sitting in this densely packed, kind of long, half open to the elements, to the night sky, drinking area on the exterior side of the guest house. Lots of people talking about profitability and what type of highly run in this country. Some people talking about different things going on in the world. Some people talking about a ship was sunk off the coast. Some whispering murmurings about why isn't there a new zealot and breakwater yet. But in amongst all these rumors, the 5 of you sit there. What do you do?
It seems as though those people, that group we ran into on the way here, is not an isolated incident. Since there is a number of groups of tribes who have made it across the mountains. They have been causing quite a bit of havoc in the region.
The tribe we just went up against.
I believe so, yes. I cannot say for certain, but they match the vague description that we were given of the sort of people. The gnolls outside, they have apparently lost a great deal of people and land to those tribes.
I don't know. I don't know if what I did was wrong, but I met up with that double agent, Sophia. She's been here for a whole day, and she's learned some information about some form of black market right underneath. I assume there is not a lot of people around us, or there's enough chatter so that I can
There's enough
say
chatter. Enough chatter.
have to double check all the time. There's some form of black market running underneath the guest house itself. I don't know how the rest of you feel towards her. But I'll put my hand up and say I want to trust her. I do trust her. So I did tell her to come join us, and she'll be here momentarily at least. Yeah, if I'm wrong and you guys think what I did was wrong, I'll take that.
I believe she believes she is doing the right thing. She has dedicated a great deal of her life to achieving a balance. I may not necessarily agree with perhaps something she's done or her approach, but our goals align at least. And now that should be enough.
It's true. I am myself worried about the warning we got back in Rakmir whilst we were being released. Like I said, I want to trust her.
I agree with you.
I have no serious thoughts on her. She can. Well, I suppose we can help her until she proves that she is no longer worth helping.
Are we sure that what is found is beneath is a black market, though? There are stores and shops here that provide services. Do we know it is not one of those?
I can say with confidence that we do not know exactly what is going on underneath the guest house, but it seems or it looks like some form of market that's not to the public.
Well, we shall see. But we cannot stay here for too long. It might be best to see what can be gained and move on.
Okay.
We do not have a great. Actually, hang on. Let me check the calendar.
I think we have like 5 days or something.
Longer than that. After the day ends, you'd be in the 4th day.
How
you've got
we
5 days.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's on the 6th day after this. Okay. And is it like another day's travel to Breakwater?
Yeah, pretty
Breakwater,
much.
yeah, about another day plus 2 extra hours of travel if you want to go the same day to Breakwater, run your idles a bit.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we've still got some time, but that's fine. Just meaning we just can't really take a massive detour here. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't wish to spend too long here either. The only thing that would keep me here is if we were to help the community somehow.
Me too. I would like to see what can be done about these tribes, about helping these poor gnolls, but at the moment I do not believe we have the time to save them all. We will do what we can while we are here.
Whilst I was kind of like explaining all that, I would have been kind of keeping a side eye on Hendrik just to see how the news was taking him. Like, are you pissed? Are you indifferent?
Hendrik is drunk.
Oh.
Holy shit. He's had like at least a glass of wine.
Was Hendrik paying attention even?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make an insight check.
All you can get from him. Say again?
I'm saying make an insight check, Stowy, and then you can choose to either deceive if you want to, Hendrik.
Seems fair.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. Are you trying to be deceitful to him to hide your true emotions?
No, he's just trying to remain neutral. He doesn't like people being able to read him.
Okay.
So
and give me a
his like
deception check. Just maintain your neutralness.
Deception.
Do you still have? Are you still? No, but do you still have?
Yeah, that would still be up. So roll with advantage.
Yeah.
So under this normalcy of just like I'm having a drink of wine and listening to my friends or my companions that I'm
Okay.
traveling with, what's going on?
Okay. This is what you pick up from Hendrik. Hendrik is paying extremely close attention to what everyone else's opinion is on it. More so than like, oh, Hendrik's angry, Hendrik's worried. No, Hendrik doesn't have a particular opinion on this, but he is like very observant of everyone else's opinion.
Understood.
Okay.
Hendrik drinks some more.
Hmm.
It's I don't think there's anything else going on here for tonight. I'm gonna retire. Until
You're going to
tomorrow
stop
morning.
being investigated? Oh, okay.
Well, I can't do it while asleep, so yes. So I will say to all of you, good night. And
Okay.
Hendrik Hendrik gets up and leaves and goes to bed.
Okay. Just sort this out quickly. Are you staying in a bunk room, or are you or in a cot? Or are you staying in a room to yourself?
Hendrik doesn't want to put himself in a position where people can steal from him when he's sleeping, so he's gonna get his own place, his own room.
Okay. I normal room is
And-
two. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hendrik walks to the barkeeper and just says he's gonna pay for it, and then points at Thoric. One room,
Okay.
please.
No
Yep, that's
problem.
fine.
Very quickly, one of the servers comes up and says, "Do you want him to have a fine room or a normal room?"
Give him a fine room.
That'll be 4 gold, please, sir.
Jeez.
There we go.
Okay, you have a fine room. While you're waiting at the top of the stairs, a server comes up to you, Hendrik, and leads you another flight of stairs up, and you head into a room which has probably like a twice a week cleaned cot and bed. The room is brushed clean of any dirt or residue. It has a travel trunk in it. Yeah, trunk. And a writing desk and a small fireplace in the corner as well, which you can choose to light. So it's a fine enough room for you.
The hay, yes, absolutely. The hay bed isn't moldy.
No, it's not. It's
Fancier.
relatively clean. It's
Yeah.
pretty clean for the region.
Okay, sounds good. And Hendrik will just close the door, and what happens beyond that doorway is for no one else to know,
Okay, no problem.
Unless.
unless
So the 4 of you are there. What do you do? The 4 of you remaining.
Well, I'm just waiting for the meetup then, I guess. Would have been more ideal if Hendrik was there, but yeah.
Okay. A few more minutes go by. 10, 15 minutes. And you're just erring on the side of something happened to her. And then a young half-elven man sits next to you. Clearly wood elven in features, with shallow pointed ears. And he sits down and he like crouches over, acting a bit drunk, and then from his eyes, which go from glossy to immediately focused. Well, I'm here.
Okay. Everyone, this is our double agent.
You seem to like
Hi.
saying that out in
Shakes the hand.
public.
Wait, hold on. A double agent, but I only see one of them.
Okay. All right.
Your ability to hide is still.
God, did we take psychic damage?
He might lose his inspiration if he keeps doing this, though.
Challenge accepted.
you don't know where you started, Cypher.
If he goes too far, he loses the level.
4. All right, I'll take it back. I reject this challenge. That's mean. Seems your ability to disguise is still quite remarkable.
That's what
Did
I was
you make
trained
it?
to do.
Did you make it here okay?
There was a bit of trouble on the road. Nothing I couldn't avoid, though.
Yes, we ran into some trouble as well. Some groups and tribes and causing some issues in the region.
Seems that's all everybody's talking about in here at the minute. That and what the Templars are going to do about it.
Yes, I know they have stationed some knights here, but I do not know what else they are doing. If they choose to simply defend the major settlements, then the people out in the wilds, like the gnolls, will suffer greatly for what is happening. But who knows? I do not know if they plan to take steps. But they cannot be allowed to do whatever they want.
I don't see how it at least concerns me. I'm here to find him. You know who I'm talking about? Looks towards Orley. I managed to find out some information about a fence underneath the guest house. Did you tell them?
I did. I started it basically. You can go into the details you told me, but Hendrik took an early night, so at least you can tell the rest of us. At least we'll catch him up if needs be.
Okay, well, I think it's only open once the dusk bell rings, probably for a couple hours until maybe short of dawn. Operates most of the night when most people retire for the evening. As I said, you need to show a reasonable amount of gold, maybe 75, 100 gold, that they'll allow you in. They need to know you have coin and are willing to spend it. Don't want anyone just catching away and figuring out what it is and then tucking tail. No password from what I can tell. Seems to be opening on almost an alliance. Powers that be. I don't know how they wouldn't notice it going on, but maybe that's okay with them. I don't know. There's no art zealot out here. Well, there's no art zealot in Breakwater, this would be technically under their purview, but anyway, that's getting into all the weeds of things.
About that, are we sure that this is black market? This is not one of the stores and services that they provide here?
No, I have listened around last night when I got here. It doesn't seem like a lot of people know about it. And what I told your friend here when we managed to escape my house being broken into, that I've heard rumors that people were able to get stones here that can do things to help them get in and out of places easier. And I haven't saw anyone walk out with them yet, but I don't think you go in there, buy that kind of thing, and walk out holding it in your hands.
If people were to do that, then I imagine it would be caught quite quickly.
Yeah.
Quick question, Cypher.
Mm-hmm.
The female tribal, with the identity stones kind of braided in there.
Yeah.
This would have had to be obviously a perception back then, but was it obvious that they were all just typical identity stones?
You would have to have her corpse or her body willing to let you examine them, so whether or not they were true or not. Your best guess would probably be, they're trophies of people that she's killed.
Yeah, fair.
That have identity stones.
That is my assumption at the moment.
Yeah.
They seemed quite content and willing to kill.
Regarding the two, what we presume, escapees from Rockmere, or perhaps they're hostages. Sophia hasn't. Well, I don't want to speak for you, but you didn't mention to me that you found any trace of them here in Heatshade.
Not yet, but I didn't want to go in without some backup and go around asking questions in the fence, and then get alerted. As we know, this guy has deep pockets. So if the person who runs that place is loyal to him, or actually works on behalf of him, and I go asking questions about something he cares about, I don't know if I'm in trouble, and they disarm me before you go in.
I would like to offer my help, but people like, well, us, without your gifts, quite distinctive, quite a little bit obvious. I do not know if I would be the type for a discreet mission like this, but I will still offer any aid I can.
I'm also the same. I can obviously hide myself if needs be, but I don't have the talents that you possess. I feel out of all of us in the party, perhaps Hendrik would most likely be the ideal candidate, if not you, Sophia.
Well, I could go in and ask some things, but I think we've got maybe another 6, maybe 5 hours of the fence being open, and it closes. By that time, the town is, well, this outpost is waking up, so probably got to be tonight unless you want to spend another day here waiting for it to open.
We can definitely help. I could even give you my stone, if it would help
I
conversations within there.
I don't think they check them.
No, of course, but to show that you've dealt with this thing before, at least, and that you're not just new to the scene, so to speak. And again, if there's a lump sum needed at the door, I could definitely help towards that as well if you were willing to do this.
Looks. Don't get me wrong. Trust is all very good, but I was waiting for you guys to come and help me a little bit. So I don't really like the thought of going into a den just by myself. I do have one more scroll to change someone's form if someone does want to come with me and they want to hide truly who they are. But because I can do that to myself, but it's got a cost to whoever comes with me. I don't really want to go in there by myself.
Well, if you have something to hide, what I am, I'm very willing to join you. But again, I am to be more blunt and straightforward. But again, if you do not wish to go in alone, I will help.
It will hide your armor and the sound of it clicking and all that stuff. So don't worry about that. You can still have your armor on, but at least make a show of probably disarming. Otherwise, you don't want him to really touch you and mess up the illusion.
Well, it's gonna sort of stick. Weapons are.
Son of a bitch!
I am.
Looks at it.
But I'm perfectly willing to return this to you. I understand this is your property after all, but
No, you'll probably need it more than me. I was never good with the quarterstaff.
Well, if things all go well, perhaps I might offer some assistance in that. See what we can do. But first, we should perhaps resolve this.
If you are going in, the least I could do is stay close by outside at the door and keep watch. I don't know what Torkel and Thoric think about this, or if they.
I mean, me and him can stay nearby you, and I mean, we can't hide, we can't sneak in. We're, I guess, last ditch of help if you need anything, because we would
If you
have to
shout, we
break
will
our
come.
way in. Yeah.
Yes. These kind of clandestine missions fall outside of my area of, I don't want to say expertise, but we will help. Well, I am happy to help in whatever way I can, but that may just mean being on backup to arrive and assist when called upon.
Nods. That's better than not having anybody ready to help. Well, we can go now if you want. We just need to find a little corner where I can cast a spell on you, Knight, Paladin, whatever your title is.
Just Levenok, please. I
Okay.
have no subtitles anymore.
I'll hand Sophia my identity stone.
She nods.
Just in case.
And as you walk away, she says, "Will you find it strange not having people look at you like you're an angel?" Like I imagine it would be. It was pretty strange for me. First time I didn't look the way I did. Didn't have that gleam in their eye of hope.
It's been some time since anyone has not looked at me like that. But I also do not think it will be the worst people have looked at me for or with.
Okay, I'll make you look like a mercenary of some kind. So at least it explains maybe the armor, if you want that.
Do whatever you feel is best. As I said, I am not the most experienced with these kinds of missions. When I
Okay,
was called in for missions, it tended to be stay forward and break here, fight there.
All right, I'll turn you into a human-looking troublemaker. And, you step outside. You get in some of the outbuildings, exterior of the guest house. You find a small corner. She takes out a scroll. She starts to read the words. The words from your side of the paper start to glow. From the bottom up, the scroll bursts into blue flame, bottom to top, and your form just changes within a few instances. Now you look like a human scallywag warrior. You still have your quarterstaff and stuff like that. It hasn't changed. And she gestures to the area where the door is, points to Orly. You could probably hide in this hallway.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, also, can I leave the quarterstaff with the group? Actually,
Sure. She gives you.
be-
Yeah. Do you want to just basically a false weapon, like weapon you don't care about, to give them? She can have a dagger, a minuscule dagger, if you just want to give that.
Oh, that's a good point.
I have a spare warhammer if you want.
Sure. I'll just take that, and we'll actively look at it almost in distaste. Not so much for the hammer specifically, but he's holding a weapon again. It's like he doesn't like having this even on him, but it's important.
Okay. Yeah, so she sees this, but doesn't comment on it, but Stefan sees that interaction. All right. Showtime, as they put it. And she walks up. You guys position yourselves in the areas relatively closely. Or imagine maybe within 80 feet, 100 feet, you can see the door.
Yeah, sure. From my vantage point, probably not, but can I see any insignia or anything like that? Not specifically even on the door, but even on the wall in that corridor itself.
You can see some thieves' cant very faintly marked out, basically pointing arrows towards the door.
Okay.
Not even saying anything, just pointing towards the door. What is any graffiti there? You do also see a strange piece of graffiti which you've never seen before in your life. It's strange because it's blasphemous. And it just says, "The 12 lie."
The 12 lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while you're heading to the door, she basically asks, "Do you want me to do the talking, or you lead?"
Sorry, I was muted. I will. It might be best if you take the lead. I will try and back you up on anything if you need it.
Okay. She walks close to this unassuming back alley door to the exterior of the guest house, knocks on it gently. The door creeps open an inch, looks expectantly. She takes out her coin purse, shakes it a little bit. He just stares at her. Oh, fine. She takes out another coin purse and shakes that. The door then closes. Clunk, clunk. A bar is lifted off the door. And the door swings open. You see a dimly lit 10-foot long hallway leading down the stairs, and it leads off again. It levels out 10 feet under the earth into another hallway, and you see another single, well-armored, well-protected wooden door. Dim candlelight lights the floor, and there's this heavy, muscular, fully armored guard in half plate with a mace on his belt and a light crossbow sitting on a chair at the bottom of the stairs. Not sure if you know the deal, but weapons in the trunk. You lock it, you take the key. And he gestures with the trunk as you guys sort of walk down the stairs. You take the key with you, so you don't think I'll look through it and you get touchy in there while you're shopping. Understood? She says yes.
Yeah, well, when he's putting the mace in the box, he'll actually try and let some of the distaste show, and hope it's more like I don't like giving my weapon up, but
Sure. Yeah, he says,
it's like,
I know the feeling. I hate being disarmed nowadays. But
yeah.
she puts her needle point daggers in there. Yeah, she takes the key, turns it, locks it, slips it into your belt pocket, and he says, some ground rules. You can look, don't touch unless the lady tells you to. If I hear any trouble, I'm coming in there and smashing your fucking heads in. There's another couple guys inside, and they'll do the same. It's no funny business. She nods.
Understood.
The door opens up, and you're greeted by what probably was like a storm shelter room, not once upon a long time ago, which has now been repurposed into a display chamber, which you go in about 5 feet, 15 feet, and it's just this long singular hallway, 15 feet in length and 5 foot in width. And on both sides of it, as you enter in the room, there are just these huge iron girders, which are thick enough to stop you sticking your hands through, but not thick enough to stop you leaning against it and looking through. You can see a multitude of items on both sides of the walls. And at the end of this 15 feet hallway is basically a concierge protected desk. You see a woman there waiting. She's wearing simple traveler's clothes. And she pipes up. Customers. My name is Celia. If you have any questions about anything on the walls, just ask. Lyranok. A few things you see. You see armament and weapons you haven't seen for a long time. You see a full suit of half-plate armor made of adamantium.
Okay.
You recognize this because all of the Silver Templar iconography and markings on it have all been etched off. You see Silver Templar rings of protection, warning horns, a righteous wave set of armor that is given out to warrior priests of Talos while on the waves at sea. Healing scrolls of the Church of Arias, greater and lesser. And then the other side, you see other stuff. You see items which are not Silver Templar salvage. You see a staff, a withered, gnarled olive branch staff, which has like a almost skeletonized hand at the hilt of it. And the kind of wording at the bottom, mage salvage. You see just a bunch of miscellaneous magical items and some other stuff which isn't there. As you walk up to the desk, taking in all of the items, right behind her, you see more and more and more of just basically illegal, magically enchanted stuff.
Shit they should not have.
This is shit they should not have. And you, at this moment, are very thankful that Hendrik is not down here with you.
Yeah, he might just start trying to arrest them.
As you walk up close to her, anything take your fancy? The woman speaks up, Sophia. Yes, we're here looking for ways to get in and out of town, which doesn't alert the brass shields to who we are. You know, we're I do stuff. I take things from people. I don't really want people to know who I am. And if I can change my name every time, going in and out, well, that helps a lot. I understand. And you? What do you want?
I'm just her guard. What she needs, and I'm going to need to go with her.
Well, we have a few left in the stock. And she reaches under the countertop. She pulls out 2 almost just standard identity looking stones of agate and 1 of a small cut of emerald. With these here, you will be able to pass through any Brash Shield blockade or get into town. It's not always foolproof, but most of the time it works every time.
Not always foolproof. What is it that gives it away? Failing in the enchantment?
Being unlucky.
Very well.
Each stone is worth, I would be asking for 150 gold. Just a few, like, whistles. Well, I don't know if I need to do a few more jobs where I can afford that. How about you, underling?
You should know. You pay me.
Exactly. I think this 3 months of wages for you, all in all. Have you been putting stuff away?
If I starve, maybe.
Well, if you need any more confirmation, these are very reliable. I've sold a good deal of these for the past few months, and I haven't had a customer come back and speak badly of me or say that they work as intended.
Well, at least we know it's reliable, but I guess that should be expected. Wouldn't be a well-known, or I guess not well-known establishment if quality weren't included.
Yes.
Well,
anything else? Sophia looks at you and then looks.
He's gonna
like waiting. She looks at you waiting. Like, are you going to ask something or am I?
No, go on. He'll sort of just give a grunt, like, and it's like almost a bit of a wave, and he'll like start looking around, but it's like, for the most part, as if he's just more like browsing, if that makes any sense. Like, nothing in particular, but just sort of like keeping note of.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that, like, and almost in his head just going, oh, like the scale of oh shit trouble is like constantly going up because this is stuff they really should not have, and he's not a huge fan of the Templars, but he also doesn't like their shit being looted.
Yeah. So as you walk away to inspect it, she says, well, you've been honest with me, and fuck it. We're looking for somebody that would have bought these a couple days ago. The woman kind of like leans back in her chair and removes them from the desk. So those kind of customers. Let's see. Yes, we are. Are you gonna? What do you need? Like gold? She nods. Gold is a starting point. Yes. Any transaction. Looks towards you. Do you want me to ask her about them, or are you going to?
2 people, 2 woman, young gal. We got I think we got hired to look for him, but it's a bit of a long shot. And he was sort of like a brief description of the 2, like enough where, enough of a description that they'll sort of know, but not enough where it's like, I know all the details. He's trying to give off the look where it's like, I'm the grunt hired to sort of help you. Here are the details I paid attention.
At least someone was remembering it. Kind of like winks at you. Well, that's it. So she's going to make a persuasion check, and you're going to make a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that using my the channel divinity, would it be a bit of a giveaway?
Probably, yeah.
Cool.
She rolled an 8.
23. I could try and reroll that,
yeah.
but I'm quite okay with that.
So she looks, the woman behind the desk, behind the bars, looks at, you're doing a very bad job of pretending to be in charge. Looks towards you, Leonard. So you're the one actually in charge here today.
You'd be surprised how often he actually sort of changes like manners or try and sort of stand up a little bit taller. Like you'd be surprised how often it works.
Oh, I've had extra coffee today because I saw right through you and points at Sophia, and you can tell it's actually bothered her that like she's been seen through. I'll be over here looking at armor, I guess. And then, like you, Cecilia, waits for you to walk up.
Yeah, you'll walk over and take her place.
This human woman of well tanned, almost like leather-like skin from the sun, with her a brief like hat on and her hair kind of out the outside of her face. You understand in any transaction like this that there will be a price. But there is information to give.
Uh-huh. And how much of a price are we talking here then? I'm quite aware, but I doubt this will come cheap.
This menagerie of choice of everything before you, it is expensive at times to keep getting stock in. Sources are becoming more lucrative at the minute, but I've had to struggle for a long time to get as established as I am now. And with establishment comes renown, and this coin needs to be worth it in case these people know that I sold them out. So I'll ask you this, and I'll honest. Give me an honest answer. Are you going to try and kill them? Or are you just looking to bring them to wherever you're trying to do with them?
That certainly wasn't the job. We have no intentions of bringing harm to them.
Well, it would have been easier if you did, because dead people don't tell tales. Well, not at least you burn them quick enough anyway. Okay, well that answers that. Let's say 300 gold, and that's a start.
Oh, that's a start.
Sophia walks over and goes to put her coin purse down, at least one of them, and then looks at you.
Well, if we've been seen through, you should know that you are the treasurer.
She looks at you like you just kicked her when she's down. She lifts up the other coin purse and then says, well, there's 400 gold and platinum.
Ooh, okay.
Ah, good. You've got a good treasurer. Okay. So the woman behind the counter says, yes, I know who you're talking about, and usually it would have been something that I would have even thought of. A guy came in here. He had this gnarly scar on his face, walked with a bit of a limp, angry looking fucker. Sophia nods. Spoke with a rough breakwater accent. There's a woman with him. Now, she didn't seem too bothered, seemed pretty stressed, worried, wanted to get out of here as fast as she could. But they wanted 3 identity stones. And I said, that's no problem at all. Yeah, you can have them. But when I brought them out, she said something about picking a red stone for her daughter because that was her favorite color. A bit cute. But so I obliged. Give her a red agate. And they bought that last night. I don't know if they went south or north, but yes, they did buy some identity stones here last night.
Closer than we thought. Might be good. See if we can get this job finished soon.
Sophia nods. Yeah. Just missed them. She then upholds lifts up the iron bar for a second, and it kind of like sucks in the 2 coin purses, just sweeps them under her hand, which is like actually it's on this huge metal gauntlet, so where none of her hand or skin is exposed. Sweeps it down and starts to inspect the platinum coins. Like takes one out. These are old mint, girl. Fantastic collection of wherever you found these platinum. Yeah, well-paying jobs sometimes. Should we get back to your friends?
I think we've got what we needed. Thank you again for the information. Glad to see there is some class among this these merchants.
Okay. All right. So, as you go to leave and step out the doors, your friends have been in there, Orly, and Torkel, and Thoric for a little while. Not too long. And as the door opens up, Sophia and this disguised Lyranuk start to walk. Just as you're about to coalesce and meet, you hear horn blow, and you stop and pause. And that's when you hear a shout echo from the other side of Heat Shade.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
Dragon!
I completely unread.
Jericho's coming!
No.
And that's where we're going to end the session.
You son of a bitch!
Was that a Raising Flame warning horn? Or?
That was the warning horn of the Templars, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, that went better than expected, I'll be honest.
Better than... We're not ready for this.
We're fine. I'm gonna go I'm gonna persuade the dragon, and they're gonna leave peacefully. In fact, you know what? They're gonna start the cooking fire for us because they're very.
We are eating dragon tonight, guys. That's what we're doing.
You guys are.
Somebody's gonna be eating tonight. It's not gonna be us.
So the duel, as in the OG.
The duel.
That's what it sounded like.
As in the blue dragon, which you've heard about for a long time.
This is not good.
Oh, no, I mean, nah, we're fine.
Stop
Hang on.
Hang on. What jinxes can I hit? What's the worst that can happen? We're like 5 days from retirement. I can't remember any of the others. Insert.
Tell me
Never tell me this. No, tell me the odds.
I feel like this
wife's
is
pregnant.
this.
There we go.
I feel like
Yeah,
this
thank
is
you.
a dig.
Congratulations, Thoric. I didn't know.
I feel like this is a dig because I said I didn't have a backup character ready earlier on.
Yeah.
This is like, yeah, you should really have a backup character ready.
A question: did we long rest? Brain's foggy.
You haven't long rested yet, no.
Okay.
So, with that, let's quickly do piety. You get a point of piety, Thoric, for aiding the weak or impeding the strong against that fight.
Thank you.
No Kinos just for you yet. I don't think so for you this session.
No Kinos, no.
For Boldre, I'm going to say yes for both Lyranuk and Orly.
I don't think me.
You did still help out with overall helping those people.
Fair enough. I'll take it.
Fuck, I think I dodged a bullet by going to bed early, guys, because if I had to walk into that black market,
you're all on
Here's the thing, right?
With a totally kind of operation,
I already lost one of piety. I'm not going to lose a second.
Has to be the person to go down there in my head. And then once you guys got in, I was kind of like, yeah. So you didn't really think, did you? Black market, like.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I hope you guys are ready to sit for a week and think about Bar Razier.
It's fine.
Your face.
Team Asimar.
I'm thinking of
Team Asimar's got this.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Maybe your next character can be one of the. We can all play one of the tribals.
This is true.
We can play the Kobolds.
We're gonna flip completely. We're gonna flip completely, and we're gonna be the invading force now.
I love it.
3 kobolds in full plate.
Just to clarify, it was you said it was the 12 lies, as in lying, was it?
Yeah, I'm assuming
the 12
gods lie.
The 12 gods lie.
The 12 gods lie, yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be
that's what it said.
All right. Also, I want to double check this because as a player, I know this. Did you say the Seneschal was here?
The Lord Seneschal of the Raising Flame is here. Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. That's basically the second in command of the whole.
Second in command of the Temple of the Order.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Leonard's going to be very shocked to find out because he doesn't know how seriously they're treating it. If he knows the Seneschal is here, that's like, oh, they're taking it very seriously then.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And with that, I'm going to head off, guys.
GG's, thank you
very much.
Thank you for the session.